Boom, boom, kaboom. Welcome to another Tuesday night edition of Gaming After Dark, your rated R gaming podcast. I'm your host, Mr. Boom, boom, kaboom. It's Newf, Nukem, and the room. We got a dynamite show for you tonight. We got all the fantastic panel members ready to go, and we've got a fantastic guest with us who will be here just momentarily. So a couple more minutes. Hopefully he is live with us, and we'll get to that in a bit. Shout out to the chat. You guys are always fantastic. Thanks for your love and support for being here. This is going to be a good one tonight. But anyway, let's get everything out of the way and let's bring in the panel, starting with the GameComplainers, a.k.a. Perry, is ready to go.
What's going on, everybody? How's everyone doing? How's the panel doing?
Well, we got the usual cast of characters already lined up early. That's good to go. We got the Red Menace himself is ready to kick off another week. What's going on, ProtoFoxy?
It's Tuesday night, and guess where we are all at? Episode 29 of Gaming After Dark. Do you know where your mothers are at? Because I do. What's up, chat? What's up, panel? Much love to everybody. I can't wait to tear into it.
That explains that smell every week.
Every week. Just know where it's coming from.
Oh, man.
Speaking of things that smell, how about your wicked hot, the Burger King himself? Yeah, Mr. Hulk Hogan shirt ripper.
What's up, boys? What's up, chat? Say, I don't know where my mom is, but I can tell you where your dad is, and I'll give you a little ring on the phone when I'm done with them. It's Tuesday, baby. Let's get this shit rolling.
And I can tell you where your next sister or brother is, still roaming around in my ball sack.
Oh, my God. Not at Cletus's house. Not at Cletus's house.
It's called pre-planning, baby. Let's go. Bring them all over. Speaking of man, I like playing with ball sacks. There he is, the one, the only bald bastard himself, Sir X-Man.
I'm the sensible one in the group. Ignore everybody else. Hello, everybody. Let's get to it, have some fun, and do what we do every Tuesday.
Whatever you say, Mace Windu. Settle down.
Oh, shit.
Whoa.
Man.
Really? You didn't have to go there. I'm not Mace Windu.
X-Man is going to start staring at you, motherfuckerly.
I mean, Mace Windu's pretty badass.
He's the
He is.
the Temu version. Guys, he's the Temu version of Mace Windu. He's Mace Windex.
That's all right. Hey, you know what,
Wow.
Wiki? Who Wiki? I love you, Wiki, but you know who you remind me of? Jar Jar Binks.
Damn.
Yeah, because I'd be going all up.
Right. You did that this weekend when we were playing, remember?
Nah, yeah. Because I was whooping that ass. What game were we playing? Unreal Tournament 3.
Oh,
King, right here, baby.
That game was still fire, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a blast, though. It was a blast.
We was having fun, dude.
And live in the flesh, making his long-awaited, I think, perhaps debut on Gaming After Dark here, a guest that I'm super excited to have. Been a follower of this man, like way back when now, like probably well over 10 years. It's crazy how time flies. He's been a part of some of the most legendary podcasts ever. He was certainly every time, when people associated the word Xbox, this guy's face was often alongside of it. One of the biggest, most hardcore Xbox fans I've ever known. And the fact, that he was able to come out and tell it like it is, at least in my personal opinion, and break it all down for us, it says a lot about the industry and where the company is going. But anyway, without any further ado, the one, the only, people know him on many names, but we know him as Tim Daw. We call Super Tim Daw right here. Woof, woof.
Hey, guys, you can hear me, right?
Brother Tim Daw.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
All right, good. I'm
Oh
in
my
my
God,
car
look at the picture
driving. I'm
he's using
sorry,
for his
I'm a little.
profile.
Yeah, I'm just driving. I'm setting up, but yeah, I remember I've been on shows with you, but I appreciate.
We have been
the
on shows
words.
together, yes.
Yeah, and it's an honor to be here. I think that this panel knows what they're talking about. We've been through the wars.
Yeah,
And,
we've been in the trenches.
just happy to hear you. We gotta, some time to talk about video games. A big week.
Oh,
I've been
absolutely.
there
We'll
on
have a good time
I've
tonight.
been
It's
there
not all
on
doom
shows
and-
with
it's not
you
all
too,
doom and
Tim.
gloom.
No, I know. I know.
It's not all doom and gloom. We're happy to have you here, Tim. Though I love the gamer pick, by the way. I saw that somebody posted that a while ago.
I
That
love
was
that.
figures or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh,
Too much.
fantastic. Well, to me, Tim, like I said, man, I consider you a legend in this stuff. You know, we go back way back to even the early days of BGST and Xbox Nation and a pile of other stuff, and of course RDX and like I said, you've been on some of the biggest podcasts out there, so your opinions are obviously viewed in high regard, and we know how hardcore you are. Like, and I mean that in a good respect. You know, a lot of us here on this panel. You know me, I've been a long time fan of Xbox. So I've stood up for them as long as I can, tried to sing in praises, bought every goddamn console multiple times. Fuck, Perry's got like, what, 13 Series X's, Perry? Like,
I got 2 more, so that's what, 18, 19? I don't even remember.
Jesus.
like, you know, and people act like we're just like silly or something. It's like we're the people that help build the brand. This is what people don't get. Like, it wasn't the fucking kids that play Fortnite that built the brand. We're the guys who built the brand. We're the ones who jumped in on a console that, you know, back in 2001, was it 2001? 2001
Yep.
Xbox?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, 2001.
We're the ones who jumped on this unknown hardware from a company that we only knew how to build Windows. You know, look where we got them, right? And everything was going uphill for a long time, and now it's kind of going downhill. And it depends on who you ask. I mean, some fans out there, they just seem to be just totally kumbaya and happy to, you know, they got this Game Pass, it's super affordable, and I can play everything. Fucking bullshit, and that's all fine and dandy. I'm not here to knock you for it, but bro, like, bottom line is, this company is a shell of itself, and the lies and the misinformation and all the shit that we've had to go through. To me, it's a big slap in the face to its fans, and I'm going to get your opinion on that in a sec. Well, let's shout out to the amazing chat here right now, guys. We got some incredible people here. The most important people, obviously, Wesson, first guy hanging out with us tonight. We see Doggy Dog is in the building. Talos Reyes hanging out with us as well. Our good buddy Frank Flaza is in the building. We got Infinite Hero 79 hanging out. It's good to see you, Infinite. No, you are not blocked, sir. You are good to go. And we appreciate you being here, regardless of sometimes your disagreements with people on the panel. Pink Piggles is in the building. Wouldn't be a great show without Pink Piggles in the chat. We got Will777, hockey fan, here with us as well. And Nate is hanging out with us tonight. Good to see you, Nate. Dizzy Delta, my good Canadian brother. Files of Horror, Mr. Harold himself is in the building. What's going on, Harold? Good to see you. And the list goes on. Did I miss anybody? I think I've got Mental 9 hours here. Oh, we got to get him back on the show, too. Another good Canadian.
Dread, maybe? Dread? Is Dread here?
Dread's in there.
Yeah. Oh, Dread's here?
Yeah,
he's here.
Nice. Dread, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Yeah, like I said, we got a great list of people that come out to enjoy this show. So without any further ado, obviously, the title tonight is The Game Industry in Trouble. Will third-party games skip Xbox? I mean, well, let's just talk about the games industry in general. And Tim, I guess for those who aren't acquainted with you that much, just kind of give us a quick rundown. I mean, your history with Xbox and just kind of a brief overview on yourself and obviously your love for the brand and sort of where things kind of went downhill.
Oh Jesus, that's a
loaded question.
I don't want to be too long-winded, but you know, I mean, I started with them. I got it like the first week with Xbox. I was always a big fan of Microsoft. I always backed them. You know, I became in love with the brand. I loved Xbox 360. I loved Xbox. And then, you know, I was always all about it. I was on System Wars and GameStop in 2007, like in the forums when nobody was talking on the internet. So 2013 comes, I make waves on Twitter. I make friends with a lot of people at Microsoft, and I could say the next 6 years, like I felt like Xbox was really bringing it, and they were they were on the cusp of hitting a home run, but it never came. And then they pulled some bullshit last year, we all know, and I just called them out on it. You know, I mean, I know what I'm talking about. I knew it when I saw it, and I knew it was gonna. I said so many things, and it was right. And it's not about me being right or about me. It's just about, you know, you said that, you know, you're gonna have exclusives with Game Pass exists. I get it. The business collapsed. They looked at it. Amy said, "What are you doing here?" They were living a dream that wasn't real, and that's the thing. And then I kind of came to a point where I could see it. I could see their forecast. Now, moving forward, they're going to be a third party. I just think the hardware is the casualty, which to me is like, you know, I mean, it might come in 2027, but it's never going to be the same. they were on the brink of something special and they fucked it up, and just I was
Well,
there.
that's just it, Tim. Let me stop you there. That's a great question. Like, how does anyone who still is in love with the brand get excited about the next piece of hardware? People are going to buy it regardless. But how can you get excited knowing that it's just basically a delivery method now? It's nothing special. No matter the system is ultra powerful or it's fucking weak as shit. Like knowing that your biggest and brightest games are probably going to eventually end up on the competitors. I mean, it's like I said, it's a bit of a slap in the face. I get it. They want more money. They want to get more homes, but I think they could have. I think they could have easily done that without having to do a drastic 180. Without basically flipping the script, pissing off all the hardcore crowd that kind of built the brand and got them where they are. But instead, it's like they're chasing the Fortnite money. They're chasing all the people they don't have that they might never get. I mean, there are people out there now, like they thought Game Pass was going to be such a runaway hit that every goddamn, person and a maggot in the ground would have a fucking Xbox. But that didn't happen. And then, of course, they flipped the script. I'll ask you this, Tim, like, when they signed that big deal, especially like Bethesda was big, right? We all remember the day when that happened, but
huge.
We certainly remember when the Activision Blizzard deal was going through. How did you feel about Xbox then, for example? Like, did you kind of think, man, Xbox is serious about this shit and they have a chance to really compete? Like they are going to sell a ton of consoles, and all they got to do is just keep certain games 100% exclusive to PC and Xbox, and they're going to make a killing here. Is that kind of way you felt? Because I know that's how I was feeling.
I felt like I was always waiting for the shoe to drop, and it never dropped. So, they never had that hit. They didn't get the momentum, and then they just were too far behind. And then the money wasn't there. Then the hardware, they're selling a $349 hardware and on Christmas, and they're not even selling out within there was something drastically wrong. And 2022 hurt them the most when they announced Starfield. That was the final straw for a lot of people. You can't just keep taking L's and then you keep taking L's and then the whole thing collapsed, and that's what happened here. So there's nothing to be really happy about, in my opinion. There's no way you could be a hardcore Xbox guy. What? I mean, Game Pass? What the? It's like being a fan of EA. It's like. And I always wanted, to be honest, I wanted an American ingenuity, like how we make video games in America. I want a big player in America, and that was another thing, you fucked that up too. So it's like you lost your home base. I mean, I don't know. It's just disappointing overall.
Well, to me, it's kind of like you can go to one store and you can have a menu of food, and you can have this amazing burger, but it's going to cost you $20 for this one burger, right? Or you can go next door and you can have this cheap fucking awful burger, but you can have a pile of them for fucking $15.99 a month, right?
Yeah.
Like I think that's kind of where we're at right now. It's kind of like the full meal deal for cheaper, or you can have the fucking exclusive enchilada, something you're really going to enjoy. You might not buy it as often, but you're going to fucking love it. I mean, I think that's kind of where we're at in terms of the consoles right now. And I look, Sony's fucking dropping the ball majorly too. They haven't been perfect by any means, but the funny thing is like they're not even taking it.
They're so ahead that it doesn't matter. It's just a lot of shit's been fucked up for them. But I'll tell you one thing about them. They realized they had a problem with their gas service initiative. And they quickly, and I was very vocal about that. I said, they're fucking morons. And I said, VR is not going to do anything. I remember fighting with you. I said, nothing. I said, guys, I was sarcastic about it. Like, nobody's going to fucking put
I said this to the boys. I said, especially with PSVR 2, which makes really no sense. They overpriced it for one. And then they brought virtually no games out again. It's like a PlayStation Vita scenario all over again, where they bring out this great product, but there's no publicity, there's no marketing, there's no celebrities behind it, there's no nothing. And of course, if you left a bad taste in the mouths of people that had the PSVR 1, they were probably unlikely to buy the PSVR 2
I mean, it's cool. I've tried it, and it's cool, but it's not gonna sell. It's not gonna sell. It's too much. It's like going to Christmas. It's like not a Christmas, a circus. It's like you go on the rides or you go on the whatever, and then it's over with. The fun's over. But you're not doing that every day. You're going to do that maybe once with the family and show it off. But, and then, but with the video game, console. You're playing that stuff every day. It's part of you. You know.
Exactly.
You're not
It's
gonna
like
have that
it's like the
with
school whore. She's good for a bang once or twice, but you wouldn't want to date her all year.
This is
my
true.
always opinion. My opinion of
Yeah.
VR and I you know I always said it has to be lightweight, no wires, and it has to be very inconspicuous in a way. Like, but
Yeah.
you know, it has to be where you can recognize your senses. It has to be a lot of things. You have to have a lot of check boxes off, and then I think it could be good. But the technology is not there yet. In my
Are
opinion.
you ready for me now? My point of view on this situation.
Yeah, we're just trying to
Sure.
get the background on from Tim here, since again.
Oh,
he's
I
a
know
guest, we
Tim's
don't have
history.
him.
I've known him. I've known him forever.
Yeah, I know
dude.
you have. A lot of people have, but a lot of people in the chat might not know Tim as well as the guys on this panel. For sure, a lot of us have followed him and followed him through X or Twitter or whatever the hell you guys like to call it.
I've been
No,
on
like you-
shows with him
yeah.
before, so
Yeah.
Yeah, he's hitting the nail on the head.
Sure.
And again, like we tried to tell the audience, not only the people in the chat, but the people that watch the show on the replay or stuff. A lot of them have us kind of pre-gauged. They put us all in this bundle and they just think we're all a bunch of bitter, sour, you know, in some cases they call
Old
us
man.
frauds or sellouts, all the shit they
Oh
call us.
man.
let me get to my point. Stop calling me old. You know I'm the oldest thing
Right?
you can be.
They love
I don't
that.
think
They
I don't
love
think it's
the
that at
age
all.
card.
Yeah, no, but let me
What's the
Like
thing
I
about-
always
since
go
I
ahead.
went
Go
in
ahead. Go ahead.
Tim, they agree with what I'm gonna say. When Microsoft, the Activision thing, there was nothing they could do about that. That was settled in court. It had to be done. But everything else, they had the opportunity, if they had kept their games to themselves,
Yep.
they could have owned this market. That's what I'm talking about. Satya and corporate with the little greed. Let's put these games out everywhere else. That's what destroyed this narrative.
See,
That's what it
here's
was.
I agree with that, X-Man, up until the point where you said where it was like, you know, at the end there, you know, it's you know, because I do obviously it's Nutella said that the games had to go everywhere, but I still feel like for me, and just in witnessing everything going on, especially with the whole ABK thing, that it was the Xbox division itself playing fast and loose with Microsoft's money. And now you got Nutella knocking on that door saying, "Hey,
now that's exactly what happened right there."
yeah, it's got to be a return of
Phil was
investment."
in a fantasy land. Let's be honest.
It comes down to
Microsoft
not having any patience. That's what it came down
I
to.
agree there too. They at least they didn't try it. That's the thing. At least fucking try it.
Right.
Uh-huh.
And here's
2020. You gotta at least try. You never know. I mean, that's when the cards are in. All cards fucking in. Now pull back. Yeah, only 4 games. Sure. You have guys saying, "Oh, just give him a chance." Phil saying 4 games. I mean, come on. There was
Hey
was
Tim,
writing
you
on the wall.
gotta agree this too. For the last 3 years about that, Microsoft. I don't want Sony to go nowhere, but they could have had Sony on the ropes, dude. I'm sorry. They could have had them on the
They could have been eating Sony's lunch every single goddamn day, X. I'm telling you, man. It's you know,
They
and that's
had
why
a pro. They should
and
have.
then people would have bought your console. People would have bought it because it would have been like, oh man, we're not getting the Xbox games now. We got to go somewhere to play these great games they pushing out. You know, so what if there's an Xbox tax? You would have had the games. They wouldn't have had much of nothing.
Yeah, it wouldn't have mattered. You know, this whole, and everybody bringing up the whole Xbox tax thing, shit like that.
There was a tax, bro.
No,
I think there definitely was a negative connotation with Xbox. You look at journalists like Jason Schreier and all those guys. Those guys were dying for Xbox to go away. You know what I mean?
Well, all right, I give you that. Maybe a few of them.
I mean, there were people. There were sides of that story. But Xbox, what they did was self-inflicted once again.
Yep.
So they have to own it. And now it's like, listen, when you say things like everything's an Xbox, the problem with that is that the reality is that you're looked at as less important. And what I'm talking about is the console. So
I got you.
now you have developers. You don't think that they're talking, saying, let's just fucking make it for PC. What's Xbox going to do? Yeah, you might piss off Xbox, but in the end, that's all it's going to be. So, like, the whole narrative that I'm a console user it holds its weight. That people want to be a console users,
Yeah.
and that's like about this overall thing about the industry. There's still going to be consoles in 10 years from now. Sony's going to be probably, it could blow up too. We'll see with GTA. Video game mediums is not going away. Right now it's kind of resetting, but my answer to the whole meaning of the show is no, it's not in trouble. It's going to go on just like everything else. But, it could blow
It'll
up
just be
to
different
where
iterations of gaming
GTA is going to, there's going to be console. Sony's going to be the console business. Like, oh, this narrative, it's going away, guys. Fucking shut the fuck up.
Sony's only going to sell more consoles. Like this all works to their
they just
favor
took
now.
all share.
Sony's going to fucking really have it.
Smart. They don't say anything. They just say, fuck yourself up, Microsoft. Jim Ryan, you're totally muted. Like, you can't say shit. Talking to people and saying things and then getting picked
They're like, we don't even need to compete anymore. You guys just destroyed your own self.
Here's my problem.
Yep.
I don't understand why Microsoft wanted to become Captain Save-A-Hole for PlayStation. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. With all the games you had with these showcases about 2-3 years ago, I'm sorry. You could have owned their lunch and you could have forced Sony to say, we need to start making games. We need to get back on the ball. But with you giving them games, you giving them time to get their stuff together because they sure not going to share nothing with you.
He's right in a way because, listen, look, 2022 final blow when Starfield's delayed. That was the last straw. It's like if Sony has no games and then Xbox is dropping Doom South of Midnight and all these games hidden.
Great game.
They were all, like Doom is not exclusive, but like moving forward, everything is going to be completely third party. So get ready for that. Halo's going to be third party. That's all coming. I don't understand how we still talk about that. That's like why I get bored on Twitter. Like, it's like we got to figure out something to talk about. Like, that's going to happen. They don't talk. The exclusive is not talked about within the people in the ranks.
Well, does anybody buy the Switch 2 if Nintendo come out and said, we're putting our exclusives on other platforms? No, this thing is fucking dead in the water, right?
Yep.
It's just exclusive is a way of life. That's all.
It is.
That's what keeps consoles. That's what keeps consoles, different consoles, separated from other consoles.
Oh, we're all fucking like these arguments that people come up like, oh, I just
this would be different to me if Microsoft wasn't $1 trillion company and didn't have the means, the methods, and the know-how.
They're almost a $4 trillion company.
I'd probably be like, okay, I can understand where they're coming from, but we're talking about a massive company with massive resources. A company that all he had to do was basically be an asshole for once. Be an asshole and be like, we're going to get greedy.
No.
We're going to take the bag. We paid all this money. We're going to make exclusives for our console. Fuck the rest of you. And guess what? If you want to play this fucking game, it's going to be on Xbox. And the second mistake, and I've said this all along, I would still get rid of day and date. That fucking day and date shit needed to go. You should have made people buy the games if they wanted the games first. You fucking make 6 months to a year. At Halo, Gears, Forza, all those games are only on Game Pass after a year. That way, people would have, if they really wanted those games, they went out and bought the fucking copy, right?
That's 100%.
And then it would have forced people to buy the console.
But that works for me, Newf, though, because I'm on a budget right now. So for right now, I can't.
We were on a budget in the 80s. We were on a budget in the 90s. We were on a budget with Nintendo 64s.
Yeah.
I remember you being very outspoken about that during the time, and I'm like, I can't think about it. I'm like, this is a home run. Maybe I was drinking the Kool-Aid, but when you take even that away from you, when you take that exclusivity, day and date, like now you make people want for the game and want to go out there and buy it. People, it's like an adverse effect, like, they're giving it away for $1. You just make you could make it, you could get it. Anybody can get it. That's when that's the problem with that whole business model.
It was a great marketing strategy, but the whole point was a great game would have helped market it itself. You didn't need to be like a cheap entry level. That's the thing. Like they would have got their money. They would have got subscribers. I would have easily subscribed to Game Pass and still waited for some of the games, but I would have went out and bought the games I really wanted. Like I would have bought Gears regardless, day one, right? I still did. When Game Pass came out, Gears 5 was just coming out. I went out and bought the full copy, the Ultimate Edition of Gears 5, paid full price for it, even though it was on Game Pass. I could have avoided it and just paid what $15.99 at the time here in Canada for Game Pass and just played Gears 5. But I went out and bought the physical copy, trying to show my support, trying to obviously keep physical alive too, trying to keep the fucking retailers open, trying to keep fucking games in the shelf. That in itself is, I told Perry this, that itself is lack of marketing. Because now when I walk into a retailer, guess what I don't see? I don't see hardly any Xbox. Xbox went from owning half the fucking store to now being like a shelf that's fucking almost as big as my dick with fucking games.
It's so true, though. It's fucking
my dick is bigger than the shelf that has Xbox games on it.
Yeah, come by and grab this green digital code, right?
I went to Best Buy. I went to Best Buy, and I'm looking at this fucking cheap section. I'm like, what the fuck? You can't even find a controller that's not third-party junk.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck?
Like,
dude, Amazon got them all, dude. Amazon got them all, Tim.
Yeah. It used to be a whole aisle. It used to be 2 aisles.
Yeah.
It was 2 aisles. So,
and now,
visibility.
Here's Gears of War Reloaded. Physical copy on PlayStation. Guess what? Xbox, no physical copy, period. Make that fucking make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Gears. That's
you know what I realized?
If it's 10 megabytes on the disc, but still put it in the fucking store, because for some people that's the only way they know Gears exists, is to walk into a Walmart and see a copy of the game on the shelf. Okay?
Yeah. Legit.
Yeah,
they don't
I
follow
told you guys
podcasts.
this. I told you guys this a while ago. When I worked at Best Buy in Yonkers, okay, we had people in business suits just walking in and be like, "Hey, I need that game with the chainsaw and the machine." That was the day Gears of War came out. We had randos coming in just buying the machine with the game.
Mm-hmm.
You're never going to have that again. At least not with Xbox.
No. You know what's funny? When the ABK deal went through, and I had this idea that once Call of Duty came to Game Pass, I was like, that's it. That's going to be the driver that brings people to buy a system. Yes. I think that's like the real hope. Well, that's what I thought. And then once I saw that there was no gravitational pull towards like the people that weren't in the Xbox community, I was like, there's no other game that's going to bring them here. And if that's not going to bring them to Game Pass and Xbox, then I came to that realization. I'm like, then nothing is. Then nothing is. Don't tell me GTA 6 is. Don't tell me anything else is, because they're not. Because someone else is going to have marketing rights, and then you add that all up. Like, why am I going to get an Xbox? Oh, wait, everything's an Xbox. My library's on PlayStation. Why am I going to jump for one game? Like people.
I think Microsoft is lying about, not telling the truth about how many consoles they really do have. They've been at 30 to 35 million for over 4 years. So, and Microsoft stopped telling numbers of how many consoles they sold. They only go by users now. They don't go by console sales. So and even they don't. I think they got more than what people think they have. But they won't put it out.
Now, see, the thing is, X-Man, is this, because and with the console numbers, I'm almost inclined to believe that, because, like you just said it,
everybody in Chicagoland area mostly has Xboxes.
I mean,
we know
Chicago, but Chicagoland is a drop in a bucket in the whole wide, in the whole world economy, right?
Right.
But here's the thing: it's like, because they are going off of users, and even those numbers are flubbed, because you can't really go off of them, because they're included. And again, Microsoft owns the shit now, so it's their right to do so. Shit like Call of Duty, shit like Candy Crush. When you hear these guys out there going on about 500 million monthly active users for for Xbox, no, that's 500 million monthly active users for fucking Candy Crush. Okay, sure, it's an Xbox IP
and
now.
Call of Duty Mobile.
And Call of Duty Mobile. And that's the thing. It's like, and then Wicked brought up Call of Duty and that not moving the needle for Game Pass, and that's that was where I was at too, where I'm thinking like, okay, if they're going to drop the newest one now, Black Ops 6, because I'll admit that's how I played Black Ops 6 because I have Game Pass. I'm like, well, I'm not going to drop the money on it because right now I just don't have it.
There's
So
another one
let me
coming
at
out
least-
next year. Why?
Yeah. So it's like, let me just jump in and play it on Game Pass just so I can get my taste of it before I buy it. And it's just like, it wasn't even that. It was the mobile version of it. So, Call of Duty did not move that needle. What did they say? It was like they estimated, because again, you said they're not releasing numbers, but they were giving guesstimates out to like what, 1% increase in subscribers for fucking Call of Duty in your ecosystem. What the hell is happening? You know, but then again,
yeah, keep going, Corona. Keep going. Keep going.
no,
Corona.
it's again, just it baffles me because, like you guys, you know, I've been there ground level day one, 2001. I had the Xbox. I fucking loved it. I pumped money into this shit. You know, so it's like just to see it step on every single rake.
Yeah,
it's like I can't scream about it anymore just because it's like it's going to raise my blood pressure to the point where I'm going to have another fucking heart attack. You know,
Project Project Gotham, day one.
Yeah. All of that stuff. Day one, Apex,
shows,
Halo.
right? Watching them, you know, and Tim, you'll probably agree with me here. Tim, watching all those showcases, right? The Xbox showcases, right? Whether they were at E3 or they did the private ones, and how many in the last 2 or 3 years that we see where Xbox comes out, has a great showcase, destroys Sony, like literally destroys them, has all these great games, and basically then commits to the Xbox fan. Like, we're behind the Xbox fan. And again, our games will only exist where Game Pass exists. Well, guess what? That's bullshit. That's not happening. We totally get the Bethesda stuff because those games were there from day one on PlayStation. So I can understand they weren't trying to rock the boat. They weren't trying to be like too much of an asshole and say we're going to keep it all. But, you know, like they told us on more than one occasion, we heard Phil on more than one occasion say it's only these games, like that whole it's only 4 games shit. And now it's
that was really messed up. That was screwed up.
Right.
I was pissed off after that. I was pissed off after that meeting.
Yeah.
Even though I knew going in that it was going to go that way. I knew going in, I'm like, this is going to piss me off. I remember saying it before it. And it did, because I knew that we were being lied to, and Booty was all fucking stupid. Saying, like, the thing that he pissed me off, he goes, well, I just want to show you guys, Game Pass will not be on PlayStation or Nintendo. Like, that was their give. That's your give. Yeah. Tell the truth and say that they both denied you and said, fuck off. You know, like you're giving us some kind of, what the fuck are you giving us? Yeah. So there, I know that guy sucks at his job. Let's be honest. And then he gets a promotion. Good job. I mean, they're just headaches. I don't know what the fuck's going on over there in Seattle.
We have a Series S, and apparently
These motherfuckers should be doing a lot better. They should be doing a lot better.
Totally.
Like, what are you going to work? Like, what? I don't understand. Like, every day, you know, they had so many opportunities. You know, they just didn't lean in. They were afraid to lean into anything. Always afraid. Right. Fuck that.
It's funny because PlayStation, it's like no matter what they do, it's like they're just the darling. It's like no matter what they do, it's all okay. Everybody turns a blind eye. And it's like Xbox finally has the chance to like swing at them, and it's like they hold back, and it's like, knock this fool out right now. He ain't looking.
No. Take the high road. Take the high road. Fuck the high road.
Fuck right. We can do no wrong, especially in this business. You
can't do that. There is no high road.
If Don Matrick was still there, does this happen? Does this shit happen to Don Matrick? Or did they all just bow down to Satya and say whatever you want?
Listen, Don Matrick had a better. He had a more organized show. I'll tell you that much. He was.
If Steve Ballmer was still there, that shit would have never happened.
Peter Moore was the best. Peter Moore was the best.
Steve Ballmer was the CEO of everything when he was running Microsoft.
It's now arguable who's better, Phil or Matrick. I mean that was once a big conversation, but now it's like Matrick. He went into E3 and he fucked Xbox. It was the biggest fuck up. He should have just not said. They should have said we're not doing DRM. It would have changed the whole output of the show. I mean, you got fucking. Sony sneaked behind you and then took that narrative, and everyone at the show was fucking cheering, throwing the fucking guys throwing mics. I mean, I mean, it was the end of them, I guess.
It didn't help that it was
Well,
TV.
That commercial,
TV,
then they
TV,
fuck
TV,
us.
TV.
Then they fuck you in the
Perry,
end with the commercial with
how
Fat
many
Adam
people here
Boys.
own?
Ed
How many
Boys.
people here on this panel? How many? And Perry, I know you do. How many people on this panel bought a Series X with the hope that Xbox really had their shit together and was ready to turn it around?
Me, because you heard all the stuff online. I heard Tim Dog on RDX.
Tim said it didn't go sour
until
until 2022. So there was a point where we still believed in Xbox. There was a point when we still were like, yeah, okay, they're doing some things here, and we think they're going to move the needle for the brand. Right. Yeah, I get it. The brand is okay, right? They're making all this money, and that's all we hear is about the profits. But when did we start talking about how the financials of Xbox and how that fucking mattered to us?
When everybody became financial market analysts.
Remember, I
remember when Sony used to play that bullshit and we gave them crap for it? Oh, stop talking about your fucking user numbers and your fucking profits, right? Tell us about whatever, right? We gave them shit. Now it's
listen. If you're gonna cheer on a corporation, you got to get something back. Game Pass is nice, but you know what? You got to give some hardware. I mean, that's just soulless to just have a Game Pass. It just feels to me, it just whatever.
Now when you give me a game,
I think hardware is. I mean, listen. If I'm in that boardroom and I'm talking to Satya, I'm like, just don't do that to hardware, and that's me talking. But that's because I don't think that they have any kind of like that guy said, gravital push. Like they just, it's just they just don't have it. They're not popular. They're like boring. I hate to say it, but they I mean, I don't know. We're always talking about them. We want them to do good, but now, like, what is there really to cheer about? Then people say, "Why are you cheering on a fucking corporate?" Well, it's what we do. I don't know. I was always a big Xbox fan. I like green. I like wearing green.
Admit it, we all had fun with, like, despite the silliness sometimes of the console, we all had fun with it. Heck, most of our channels to some degree were built off of console war and fanboyism. Why do you think that most podcasts are either Xbox centric or PlayStation centric? And most of the PlayStation podcasts, unfortunately, most of those fucking guys talk about Xbox every goddamn podcast. I don't know if they've ever talked about PlayStation. They're just like, Xbox sucks. And you're like, I wanted to come here to hear some PlayStation news, but all I hear you guys talk about is how fucking shitty Xbox is.
About that quality.
And all those shitty games are apparently great games now because they're over on PlayStation. Yeah, Gears is going to be fucking amazing in a couple of months when they start playing Gears Reloaded. God damn, this game is good. But it fucking sucked 10 years ago. Gears is dead. Halo is dead. They're all dead until they come to
Xbox is doing what Sega did, the Genesis. They're spreading themselves too thin with all the, like, just a comparison of all these extra peripherals when you didn't really have to.
Right.
That's what happened.
And you know what it is? Yeah, now it's just at the point where I just like they have so many problems. It's like you get a headache. Like there's never any coming back. They're done. I think, in my opinion.
Well, it's like here's a good day of Xbox.
I don't know how. I kind of. I want to see them do good sometimes, and then they just always seem to fuck it up. I don't know.
I think in our hearts, Tim Dog, I think in our hearts, we want them to do good, and that's why we always kept giving them that extra chance. And it's no, they're gonna figure it out. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it because like we just believed in it and we liked what they were offering, and it's just they never ever met their promise. They never ended up giving us what they promised us, and it's like right when we had it, that millisecond we had it, everything changed. And there's no going back.
And some of the things I loved about Xbox, and let's be honest, there's a good Aaron Greenberg is a fucking great man. I just want to say that. He really is good. He got his budget cut from him in 2017. He basically you can't work when your competition has 8 times bigger budget for marketing. But he's a good person. He really tried to connect the fans. He had Xbox making us loyal. Like, because he's just a good dude, man. He really is. Like, on a personal people level, he's fucking A1. I'm telling you. Like, he's just good dude. He loves his football. He's he's just a family man. He's a good
Toronto
dude.
looks like a decent guy to hang out with. There's a lot of good people at Xbox.
Yeah.
I don't think they're void of good people. I mean, the fact that most of them interact with the fans and they do the shows, that's not Xbox weakness. That's one of their good things. Like that's one of the things that we love about Xbox. And I wouldn't change it for the world. I'd not just sway and Phil that he was, out there with the fans. I love that about Phil. I love that you can talk to him. I love that he was approachable and stuff. And I don't I don't think all of this falls on he is the face. He's the face that will take the large part of the blame. I blame the boardroom people. I think we're smart enough to know that this probably wasn't Phil's ultimate decision. But obviously he has a job. He has a reputation. I don't think he totally enjoys the stuff that's happened, but this is just where the company is now. Because he is, like, when people say he saved Xbox, I do believe that's true. I believe that he was a large part of the turnaround, and I think that started when they made out and committed to the Xbox One X. I think that was a sign that that's the confusing part to me. That system solely existed because the hardcore fan base did not like and accept the bullshit that was the Xbox One. Then they gave us the One X, and that One X was fucking phenomenal. And to this day, that thing was never tapped. Like, that thing still got fucking... Like, I play that today, and the games look goddamn amazing. And most of them run fucking good, too. It's like, damn, this thing was good. And, but they fucking just pissed it in the wind. It's like, here's this thing to... I guess it was like to prove to themselves that they could do hardware, to prove to the fans they were committed to it. And then they kind of turn around. They start strong with the Series X and the Series S. And the Series S in itself, whether you agree or disagree, I think that posed a whole new set of fucking problems. Right off the bat, they confused the goddamn market. They split the fan base up because then they started catering to the fucking... Like really, who was buying the Series S over the X if you were an Xbox fan? You were only buying it either you were on a budget or you're like a parent buying it for your kids.
I'll tell you this much. I know Albert was totally against doing two. He wanted one.
Bet.
He was the number one outspoken guy for that, and he wanted to go $399 with a nice spec, one system.
Yeah,
he didn't like. I don't think, and I don't mean to talk for him, but I'm just. This is this is 5-7 years ago. Who cares? He's Albert, another fucking fantastic guy. Big loss for Xbox when that happened. I kind of just try to. At the time, I did think about when I never wanted to see. He was such a good guy. Still is. But I mean, to lose Microsoft, to lose him, and then he wasn't given his proper farewell. Like, that pissed me off too. Like, they didn't give, like, they treated Larry like a fucking a moron. I mean, they were despicable. Like, didn't have a big thing for Larry. I mean, even though Larry, you could interpret that he's a dick, but he was a big loyal Xbox guy. Up for, like, they just don't have. Oh, it's just like it
I
really.
was just about to
It's
say
a shit
something
show
about
over there.
I think when Larry Herb left, that's when a lot of things started changing. And I think he saw where they were going and didn't like it and said, I'm just gonna retire.
I think his boss was telling him, like, he had a boss, and like it was like just like totally didn't know what the fuck they were doing. And
look at the
that person's telling Larry shit. Like, they just didn't have a proper level of respect to me for Larry at the end. A guy who puts it in his dues, just you let him go gracefully. Kareem too. What they did to Kareem was fucking horrible. He was the guy for Xbox Live, and he
did Mixer.
I heard some fucked up shit about that whole story.
Yeah,
and you know what?
I love Mixer.
You know what? That makes me like really want to fucking go out when they do something like that. That makes me really want to fucking go at your company. Don't try to fucking portray a vision and don't be about it. Like Microsoft's always with these fucking, they're the whole fucking. They should just gaming to them. They don't. The problem too is you have Satya. He doesn't understand gaming. When a guy's that big and he's thinking that the margins are going to be the same as fucking cloud, you just don't understand the business. And then you just keep throwing money at it and then saying, why isn't it doing well? I mean, I don't know. I just they need a guy like Peter Moore, somebody who knows video games. It's for Sony, it's live or die. For Xbox and Microsoft, it's like, okay, let's see what you can do. You can't when you're against competition like that, you can't survive.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, it's a futile
Too many
market.
people involved, in my opinion.
Too many cooks in the kitchen.
Well, we've
Yep.
heard that multiple times, and there's no coincidence that Ibarra goes and like you lost guys like Rod Ferguson who came back and then left again, like basically gets bought up, and it was always ironic. It's like I'm pretty sure those guys are like, yeah, we're out of Microsoft's shadow, and then all of a sudden they get brought back in because they buy at the companies they went to. It's kind of hilarious. I don't know. I mean, I can't speak for things I don't 100% know about, but I'm sure there's got to be some part of the truth. Like those high-profile guys just don't fucking leave companies like that without some shit.
You're right.
Right? They got pretty cushy jobs. They're just not like, oh, fucking Microsoft's paying me minimum wage. No, these guys are making some pretty good bucks. They got high-profile jobs, and and like I've said to you, Tim, and too. Like now that Ibarra's sort of like out there and he's on Twitter, you're starting to see. Sometimes maybe indirectly, but some of the truths are coming out between some of the shit he's been saying on Twitter, and you kind of go, I think we're starting to know how he felt about a lot of this stuff now. And I don't think he liked some of the direction, but he didn't have a say in it. So,
Well, the thing about Mike is that, and Mike could be a dick. I'll tell him not to his face, but he could be a dick. People don't like Mike, but the reason why I like Mike and for Xbox is because he doesn't accept mediocrity, and Xbox was all about mediocrity. Like he made enemies. That's what happened, and it was like. Because he said no. Why? Like they would do something, and they'd be like, "No, it's not time for high fives." Like he was just very driven.
Yeah.
And he didn't like the passing of the bullshit that was going on, and that's basically and I kind of agree with him. And there was other stuff that I don't want to talk about, but stuff that went on that was like fucked up, and he just called it out. So Mike,
what do you think?
Mike, what?
The first big purchase, or one of the first big publishers or game companies Microsoft ever bought, was getting Rare. And we've seen how vital they were to the 360 generation. I've said this to the panel on numerous occasions. I said, like, Rare, like, what the fuck happened to them? Like, they're living up to their name because their games are fucking rare. How did you go from making all these great titles to all of a sudden you made Sea of Thieves and haven't done a fucking tap since?
Yeah,
right?
I mean, listen.
That alone tells you all you need to know about Xbox.
I mean, we pretty much we're fucking WWE and Xbox tonight. Holy shit!
My God, no! Stop!
Over the rope, steel chair to the head. No, but I mean, it should be called out, though. I mean, come on, let's be like, if we're gonna be about it, let's really be about it. You know what I mean?
I still love Xbox, but I don't like the way corporate is taking over and running this shit. That's my problem.
Exactly. Right. That's how how I feel too. X.
I think maybe Peter Moore could save Xbox, like if he took over. I just remember Peter Moore with the tattoo. That was a viral moment.
Halo, what was it? Halo 2 or 3? It was the launch date.
But this is the point. Yeah. This is the point. We are saying Peter Moore could save Xbox, but here's the thing. This is where the other podcasters are probably listening to us right now and saying we're full of shit because they're saying Xbox doesn't need no saving. It's in the perfect place. They're making bank. Their stocks are fucking rising. Game Pass is doing great, and this is all we're getting. It's like Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass, Game Pass. We make this much money. Boo, 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 boo.
Get the Amazon Fire Stick. Play game.
They know that they're omitting everything, though.
The consoles are going up. They just laid people off.
Or is it the fact that other people can't accept the truth? Or we're speaking the truth and they don't accept it.
I think some people are just okay with it. Some people
that's where I'm at. I think whatever Xbox is going to do in some of these people's eyes, they're going to be their darling. They can do no wrong.
Right.
That's
exactly
how I
feel. It is what it is. Some people view it differently, but like sometimes I got to see it on both sides. I just want to be transparent. That's how we all are on this panel. We want to be transparent. We don't want to be an echo chamber, and we're calling the smoke out when we see it. And it's like you're raising your console price.
Well, when Microsoft
Just,
only
you're bringing
sells
games over there,
15
you're laying
million
people off, and you're just
consoles,
making money.
What I've also learned
They're
about
not
this
even
game,
shipping the
And we're not
consoles
getting
out.
anything out of it. Like
yeah,
that,
but
we're
when
getting a little bit.
Microsoft,
We're
yeah,
getting
they
great
get chips
games,
with
but
it.
it's like we should be
When,
getting more.
when
Getting more
Microsoft
money.
only sells 15 million consoles, then next generation you're gonna be like, what happened? What happened? Even 10 million consoles, what happened? People say I can go play over there soon. Why I gotta do that? I got a PC now.
Well,
Why I
but I
gotta
was
do
going
this?
to say,
You wanna
shit,
run
X man,
Disney?
they're doing it now with PC. People are skipping the Series X.
I like
You're going to go
playing my
back to
games
what
on
because you can
PC.
play all that shit on PC.
I don't mind the
Game Pass
choice
is
of
cheaper.
PC. I don't mind it because I used to play Xbox games
Yeah.
on the 360
just-
that were like that. So that didn't
Right.
And
bother me.
PC
And
is
listen-
cheaper too, dude. Fuck.
It's still not there with cloud too. I mean the last game I played Claire and I tried to use Xbox Game Pass and it didn't work. It was the servers were down. So then I bought a subscription to NVIDIA Shield and I tried it and it's good, but it's you want to play on a local console still by far. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, so cloud's not going to be where we think it's going to be. And probably, I always said cloud will be really viable when it can be better, you know, than what you can have in front of your at your house, like better than physical. Like they can match PCs or whatever, use these super PCs and be better. But you have a long time with latency and the way everything breaks down to do that. You know what I mean? They'll
Yeah,
probably
those little lines that scroll down when you're trying to play something. Yeah.
you know. So it's a ways off. So consoles are very still relevant, and we're all going to be talking. You're going to have shows about GTA being, you know, GTA's going to charge a ton of money, and it's going to be very successful. I think. I don't think Rockstar is screwing this up.
That's the crazy part. Like, you know, everybody's talking about these tariffs and all these console prices because of the tariffs, but I think part of it came to the fact that the companies thought, fuck, GTA is coming in the fall. Let's raise the prices now. And by the time the fall comes, we're going to sell a shit ton of consoles before the end of the year because GTA is going to land in the fall. And GTA is like, fuck you guys. And they're all like, God damn it. Our consoles are up now.
They knew they blew it. Xbox blew another opportunity too. With everybody going up, you should have absorbed the price and dropped your console to $450 or $400.
No, that is not the Xbox way.
But that would have sent a statement, and you would have got consoles sold because you got the games now over there. You know, all you wanted is a subscription.
Yeah.
That would have been a perfect situation. They're not thinking.
I just think they just have so many errors, just things that have hurt them now, like just combined that, and they're just unrecovered. It feels hopeless. It really does because, you know, they've tried a lot. They did. I wouldn't say they didn't try. They you know had a good push, but at the end they just fell off. You know, it's disappointing. You know, I
And
wish
somewhere in between
just
that
if they had
time,
finished it, you never know. Who
Dude,
knows? I mean,
Marshawn Lynch at the goal line, baby.
Yeah.
Marshawn Lynch at the goal
and
line.
then somewhere after
Get
they
stuck.
recovered and got Xbox back on the map, somebody came in and blew it all up and messed everything up.
Look,
you know, I mean, the only way I could go ahead.
No, go ahead, Tim.
No, you go ahead. I want to hear what you have to say.
I'm just going to say, look, at the end of the day, it's really simple, and it's summed up with one word. We've heard this rumbled through every sort of company out there. That's management. It's like hockey teams, football teams, baseball teams. You ever wonder how there's some that always are in the upper echelon of the league, and there's some that just foster and shit for the eternity? Okay, well, what do you think? What do you think is the common denominator? It's one, you got owners with deep pockets. But when you got deep pockets, it means you hire the best fucking people. And these best fucking people eventually hire the right people to be in your organization. And then you start winning championships. You start making money.
Yep.
But like there's a fun and you see that with certain teams, they never get it right because they always got the wrong people. And it comes down to management. Nintendo knows what they're fucking doing. Their mission is very clear, and they don't stray from it. Like I said, they're the anomaly, but that's the reason they're successful because they know what makes the money, and they don't stray from it, and they know that we're so loyal to them, we buy it regardless. But everybody else seems to be like, They chased the money. Remember 360 was fucking running away with things until the goddamn Nintendo Wii came out and the Wii started to take off because of stupid motion controls. People are still wagging their dicks to this day, fucking trying to got carpal tunnel syndrome and broken televisions. But guess what? Xbox wasn't satisfied with doing great with the 360. They will, let's make this fucking Kinect and sell it to people that buy the Wii. And for a while, it was pretty successful. I get it. But you remember how the software all of a sudden tailed the fuck off at the end of the 360 generation? Because they were too focused on making shit for the fucking Kinect. And they did it again with the Xbox One. They focused on this fucking Kinect and entertainment, which fucked them right up again. And then finally, they had things going right with the Series X. And then they went the opposite way. They said, well, we get the fucking hardware, and we didn't do any bullshit marketing this time. But now we got no goddamn games. There's no fucking software.
I love my Kinect.
That's pretty much the that's the whole story right there.
Free Milo.
The problem is these companies keep changing. If you're not,
you're 100% right though. They don't have they don't have the management is 100% a problem there. I like that goes back to Mike. Like Mike, was it's like at Microsoft, everyone wants a trophy just for participation. That doesn't work, and that's why Mike was always like about it. So, it's true. Management is 100%. You did an excellent job there, breaking it down. But you're 100% right, and unfortunately, they just were outmanaged. I mean. When it comes down to it, and they were pretty close. Like they were neck and neck with Xbox 360. It all came down to Xbox One, and they were just fucking outmanaged and outwitted.
The original Xbox didn't exist without some guys saying, "This is what we're going to do, and this is how it's going to be done, and you're just going to have to follow our lead on this." And that was what's his name, the guy who made it, Seamus Blackley. They were pretty adamant about certain things. Remember how they fought against the hard drive? Remember that?
Yeah.
Hard drive, but the guys are adamant that we need the hard drive in this console, and that was one of the leading changing factors in Xbox. There was a lot of these tough decisions that had to be made, but somebody had the balls to say this is how it needs to be done because this is how we move forward. And this is what happens in some companies. Some guys, they just walk in the boardroom and the guy goes, "No, that's not happening." You walk out and go, "For my better judgment, I should have opened my fucking mouth." But they're too afraid of either getting a job or demotion. They just sit there and they take it like little guys. They look at the boardroom meetings and they go, "Well, don't fucking say nothing because the boardroom guys, this is where we're fucking at." And this is where I always say, like, corporations and guys need to get out of the fucking boardrooms and start listening to the fans. You'll make fucking money. It's proven fact. Look at the movie industry right now. You know what turned the movie industry on its fucking head? Was when they started putting movies out on fucking streaming services months after it came out. That's what killed the movie industry. And guys from AMC and all the big theater chains are saying that. They're saying you can't fucking put a movie in the theater and fucking 2 weeks later you're going to put it on a streaming service. That is fucking awful. It's killing the industry. No wonder nobody wants
to pay for exclusivity. It's just
it's the way it is.
You just can't have 100%. Way to go! The show is awesome, man. It
was an anomaly during COVID. We get it because COVID changed the fucking world and everything, right? But the problem was they needed to go back to the model immediately when COVID was over. It's like, no more putting our fucking movies on the fucking streaming service 5 minutes after it was in the theater. Like, this is the problem, right?
Quality.
Gaming's kind of go the same way. Sony's been able to survive a little better because the biggest thing with Sony. Sony has the backing of other countries. This is the big deal, right? This is the problem. And if I was Xbox, I would have ditched Japan. Personally, I would have paid for development of games, but I wouldn't even bothered marking a console over there. So fuck that shit. If we're gonna sell 200 copies of Xbox a week, what's the fucking point of even putting it in the store? I would have given them the big middle finger. Go fuck yourselves. And I would have focused on all the places that actually wanted the product. No, that's what people need to say sometimes. Fuck all the countries that ain't with you. If you ain't down with that, go fuck yourself. Donald Trump says it all the fucking time.
Oh my God, this guy Death Row Records over here. You got to be how we gotta be. We gotta be Death Row Records.
If you want to buy my shit, I'll sell my shit to people that will buy my fucking shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I want to say this about all that because in a perfect world, you can take all of these great points and you can apply them, but at the end of the day, to Microsoft, Xbox is a line item. that they can just write off, and it's been that way since the beginning. They've never really pulled any real money out of Xbox because Microsoft is Microsoft. Let's just call a spade at this point. And until whoever's in charge at Microsoft, who knows if Nutella is going to stay around forever or the next guy or whatever, until they finally start seeing that, hey, we need to do something with this because we can't just keep writing off this line item. We are going to just keep seeing Xbox stuff, which is, great for the people who support it and whatnot, but it's just, they're just going to keep, stepping on the rake, so to speak, because it's just like, they don't care because it's just at the end of the day, they're going to write it off.
Pretty much spot on. It's not a good position to be in either. No. So
we like what we like. We'll support the way we like. That's I'm not here to tell anybody, the panel, the people that are watching in the chat, and the people listening. I'm not here to tell you how to game. That's not my mission. Look, as long as you're happy gaming, I don't really give a fuck how you do it. We're just expressing that we ultimately, at the end of the day, we feel that Microsoft had the ability and the means to compete, and like they could go with Game Pass. I'm not saying that they didn't have a winning formula there, but I think they could have done it both ways and been very successful. They didn't have to commit solely to one thing and put all their eggs in one basket, and they would have been. All they had to do was, like I said, that's what we thought they bought the fucking contracts for, was to have tons of content in Game Pass and keep some of this shit away from Sony, because we all fucking know that if the roles were reversed, Sony would keep everything off of Xbox. I don't give a fuck. They would have took it all off. They would have said, "Fuck Xbox, fuck you guys. We're going to kill you. We're going to bury you in the ground." And this is like I think us as fans, after having podcasts, 10 fucking years we've been podcasting. Yeah, and we're saying that's the difference between Sony and Microsoft. Microsoft seems to governed by this set of morals. It's like we gotta be nice to everybody. Sometimes you gotta be
100%, man.
Be an asshole. Be an asshole and get the bag. Right?
Too much.
Vince McMahon got the fucking bag by being a fucking asshole. I just watched a documentary.
How about being a little proud? Be a little proud. Stop being such a wimp. Right?
Yeah, but I think it's probably. I think it's also probably too, if you think about it, Microsoft throughout the 90s and whatnot, they were getting raked over the coals for attempted monopolizing, different, tech sector stuff, and they were getting spanked up and down the courts all the damn time. So this is probably what fostered this culture of hand holding, everybody joins in, kumbaya shit. Because like you said, so if the roles were reversed and Sony were the ones that were buying everything up, that foot would have never came off their neck.
I used to tell that.
Yeah, it's
they wouldn't blink about keeping Call of Duty to themselves.
Wouldn't have blinked. Not 1 second. But again, it's just I think it's just an overall culture that was fostered over the fact that they tried to keep their foot on people's necks in the 90s and got raked over the coals for it.
But I get it. There is a double standard because you're Microsoft, and you're not only looked at as the company that owns Xbox, but you're looked at as this big fucking giant that puts everybody out of business kind of thing. So, of course, the what do you call it? The fucking lean econ and all those bullshit people are always like scrutinizing every deal and making it very hard to do anything because it was always a competition factor, right? And sure, they did their share of fucking putting people under, but don't worry, other people are doing shit to Microsoft too. Like it's a dog eat dog world out there, It fucking sucks, Well, yeah, like Titan's in the chat. What's going on, Titan Dragos here?
Titan.
What's up with the price? We're gonna get away from this next Xbox narrative because I think we're beating it to death. But
I know what I've been waiting to say this one thing. Right. We don't act like Sony's got management problems too. Both these companies got management problems. Both of them. That's all I wanted to remind people of. It's not just
management problems, but one company.
Nintendo, the only one that ain't got no management problems.
And dragged through the town.
Nintendo is the only one that don't have any management problems. They are so contained.
But that's because they don't make outrageous budgets and they stay within their means. That's their whole motto.
And they got more cash on hand.
They don't
a lot of
their formula.
PlayStation gets every fucking pass in the book too.
They do. They do.
Into the equation.
They're lovable though. They're lovable with Mario. It's just the way it is. It's something. It's something that you like. It's just something that's just people associate with. It's it's ingrained. And just Nintendo has always been different. So it was like that's what the whole thing with the console war was. 'Cause Sony and Xbox was such a mighty competition. You know what I mean? It was interesting, and it
Well,
was
Nintendo
like
do got
Well,
that
there's one
history
company that
to
I
them
think,
of saving gaming. You know what I'm saying? They will always have that.
if there's one
That's the
company I
big
think could
stickler.
literally make a comeback if they really wanted to, if they did it properly, would be
you
Sega.
don't think that they can make it. You've already sold me on that. So I'm checking out with you. We'll be fucking
I'm getting.
PC assholes in fucking 3 years.
Yeah, I'll buy a new. I
That's
will
right.
buy a new Sega in instant.
We go.
Well, just think about this. Sega has
Dreamcast
a wealth
2,
of
bring it
IP,
on.
right?
Keep taking that.
Sega
Keep
has a
taking
wealth
that
of
acid,
IP.
X-Man.
Sega has a wealth of IPs. I'm pretty sure they got people in the hardware business that could make a fucking good system if they want it. And sadly, like say Sonic right now is a bigger property than Sonic's ever been. Like successful movies, successful merchandise. You bring Sonic, you take him, strip him completely off of fucking Nintendo, and bring your own fucking Sega system out with all those exclusives, and bring back a strong sports division to compete with fucking EA. Man, Dreamcast would be a fucking juggernaut.
I got
Ready
one
to
question.
Rumble 3.
But they
Oh,
would
yeah.
have to play hardball. They'd have to be assholes, and they'd have to do it for themselves.
If
But I guess
Microsoft
they
gets
would.
if Microsoft gets out of hardware, who do you guys think is number 3? Because somebody's got to get in.
PC.
Nvidia.
Nvidia.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. NVIDIA has the means to make their own hardware. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Oh, what am I saying?
Oh,
PC's always number one.
And something with AI. I mean, Nvidia has AI too, and AI is going to revolutionize video games for sure once it gets more advanced.
So that'll bring it
Development.
sort of to the topic. So is the game industry in trouble? And I bring that up only because we're seeing record numbers of studios being bought up and shut down. We're seeing game costs astronomically through the roof. Game development's on average now for most companies in about 5 to 6 years before ever you see a game. Game prices now, this is the big one. The game, we've always said, yeah, we saw the cost going up, but now they're starting to get a little bit like in Canada. For you guys that didn't know, the Switch 2 prices right now and the games up here is $115 a pop. That went up from $79.99 to $115 in Canada. That's a fucking big jump. And Xbox is supposed to go about $100 on a console. So the Xbox Series X right now is $649 and nobody's buying it. Are they going to buy it at $749 up in Canada? So there we are. Like, how do you guys feel about the industry? And is it making you feel all warm and fuzzy? Do you feel like it needs a fucking reset here? Anybody, take the floor.
I think the industry's fine, and I'll tell you why. Just because, like what you outlined right there, gamers are going to bitch and complain, but in the end, they're going to spend. And next year,
Right.
you're going to get Switch's numbers, and you're going to get GTA. And then we're going to be talking about how the console business and everything is doing business. It's going to be totally different talk than what we were just talking about. Consoles will be going strong. Paul Tassi would, everyone will be fucking on the console train. But I do think that the vibe is there, and I do believe in video games. I just mentioned AI. I think that like in the coming years, there'll be games that really blow our minds. So the medium, I think, is just going to withstand over time, and it's proven that people like to game, and they're willing to pay for it. We just live in a high society right now with the way we spend money, and gaming is going to get money spent on it. So no, next year, like I said, I predict that you'll be talking about record numbers and shit.
Will prices come down though a little bit, or you think they're just kind of here because of the
Nah.
inflation numbers and because of the, or
Nope.
they're going to stay this way, and we're just going to have to wait for sales? And it's just, I mean, this could be a boon for Game Pass, but to me, it's only a boon for Game Pass if Microsoft doesn't be stupid here and go, we're going to charge more for Game Pass. Because I think they keep it locked in for a while, it's going to look even better and better and better when the games are now astronomically more. But if Microsoft,
a very good point.
If they jump the gun and they put this shit up right away, people are going to go, yeah, Game Pass is going up again. Fuck it. Right? But you keep it now, keep it where it's at, and keep it for a while. Even if you got to suck up a little bit of loss, keep those games coming like they're doing. It's a huge get for Game Pass because it's going to make more people go, yeah, fuck it. I'm going to get Game Pass, man, because these games are like fucking $90 now and $100, $120, and I'm getting them all in Game Pass.
If I was Xbox 2, I'd make online free tomorrow. Like, there's no reason, you play Game Pass, be online. It doesn't matter. They're going to say, oh, we have subs just for that. You know what? That's what I would do, in my opinion.
And you
Just
boys
don't
think we're in
compromise
for a
by
reset, or you
security
think,
or that.
like Tim said, everybody's just going to pay the dollar?
I
with
promise
Tim.
you.
I'm with
You're
Tim.
gonna pay.
They're gonna, people are gonna complain where you're gonna get, and of course, usual suspects on social media and everything like that.
I got
But
it. Yeah.
but you'll also hear it across media, because this will obviously make some news headlines here and there, because the mainstream media likes to talk about video games too, especially in any negative light they can get. So they'll talk about increasing prices, but people are going to pay it. It's just like with anything else. And it's like, and we knew this bubble was going to burst, right? And you talked about COVID earlier. Everybody was at home buying up stuff. Things was cheap. Things was good. We was getting that free money from, we were getting them free Trump bucks. Anybody who believed that was actually genuinely free, and I'm not trying to get political, but just think about it with common sense for a second. Anybody believed that was genuinely free money? I've got a plot of land in fucking Antarctica to sell you for a whole lot of fucking money, and it's good, and it's good land too. But no, it's so the bubble was going to burst, and prices were going to go up, and we knew that was coming, and that was just across the board on everything. And entertainment, this is disposable income stuff here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like entertainment's the easiest thing to jack up through the roof. The fact that Nintendo just came right out the gate and said it, and of course everybody right now is going to blame tariffs, which of course, but once that goes away, they aren't going to lower the prices down. That's not going to happen.
Listen, I think just this whole argument. Look at Canada. People still buy games in Canada.
Yeah.
Listen, it affects you more. You're paying what, $80? Whatever the fuck. It's crazy, but
because the dollar.
We prove
Right
it
now-
will spend money. I'm telling you, people are going to game to the end of time.
Standard PlayStation, standard PS5 game right now, and a standard Xbox Series game is $89.99 for now. But Microsoft's price is going up. That's definitely going to hit at least another 10. So we're looking at about $100 on average for a game. The Nintendo's already at $115 for at least for their titles. Shockingly, EA says they're not going to raise their prices. But like I said, to me, I kind of laugh at that in two ways. I'm applauding EA in one sense because that's great. That's great news. You won't jack up your prices. But we also know that EA has made an absolute fucking fortune by selling the same 3 games over and over every fucking year with Madden, FIFA.
And minimal dev time on it either.
Minimal dev time and maximum return on investment. And every year they sell fucking like NBA 2K sells fucking 7 or 8 million copies out the gate.
Yep.
It's the same goddamn game every fucking year. Like these guys got to be laughing to
With
the bank.
updated rosters.
Yeah, I
The
feel bad for
roster
game
update.
developers out there fucking working fucking 5 years to make one game, and they're lucky if it sells at all. And these guys are like, yeah, copy and paste. Here we go, another
Copy
10
paste with a new roster, just like Tim said.
I wish people would just stop buying. Not because I don't want sports games to sell. but
Exactly. That's another good point. People, unfortunately, it's just something that people are just going to pay. And unfortunately, I mean, it is what it is. But you get screwed more because you're in Canada and the pricing is outrageous if you think about it. But I do think that you needed to have a reset, and this is a reset. I don't think it'll change for a while. But this is the new norm.
Our pricing is largely because our dollar plummeted, and our dollar's been plummeting because we have a government reelected for the 4th fucking term that has their goddamn head so far up their fucking ass that all they can do is smell shit. The fucking country elected the most moronic government in the fucking history for the fucking dude, I can't even fathom. I can't even honestly. If you guys ever say that Canadians are fucking stupid, the majority of us actually are fucking stupid. Okay, because it was so cut and clear on this election. And I'm sorry if you did vote for the other people. I don't know what the fuck you voted for. Like, I really don't. Like, do you not want to have better cost of living? Because the other fucking guys don't even believe in oil and gas. They want to have us all driving electric cars in 10 fucking years. Okay, so that's where we're at up here in Canada. Morons. Jesus.
I love Canadians.
Oh, it's a good thing you love us. I might be moving to the fucking US at the rate we're
You
going.
you guys have good food up there.
Oh, we do have good food, and that's going to cost the fucking $1 billion. You're going to be walking in paying $30 to get a McDonald's hamburger here next year. You know? Fuck, man. You know what a fucking Big Mac combo is? $11.99. How much is it in the States?
Wow.
Big Mac meal.
Hell, you know what? Probably about close to that because fucking McDonald's around here anymore is ridiculous.
Well, yeah. Well, Clint Eastwood said it best. Today's generation, they want $20 an hour with a $5 work ethic. I think that's the problem with the gaming
Yeah,
industry.
it's fucking
true.
great.
That's
Yep.
the problem with the fucking
Very
developers. They're all fucking 20-year-olds just getting out of college, and most of them don't even have experience masturbating, let alone making billion-dollar games.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder what AI. I really wonder what I wonder what AI does. I mean, I do think that it could be utilized as a tool. It's definitely going to cut people out of jobs, 100%. But
Yeah.
I know everyone on this panel is waiting for that breakthrough that we've always had breakthroughs. If you remember, 8-bit to 16-bit,
Yeah.
that shit was the best. 16-bit to 32-bit, and it was such a big difference. You know, that's I would love for that still to happen, like them getting a game and have a breakthrough technology wise. Well, I thought the cloud was that, and I still think you could still play games in the cloud and have it, rendering in the cloud, and helping out and assisting. I do think the cloud does have potential in that. I think Google had a great vision for it, but I mean, but there has to be a breakthrough. Games got to be different.
Do you know what I think the next big breakthrough in gaming is, Tim?
What?
And I think if they can make this happen, it's going to be huge for games, especially RPGs. Is when you create a character using AI advancements, you no longer have pre-scripted dialogue. You basically, if you ask a character a question, like even if you said, "Girl, do you think your tits are too small?" and the girl that's on the screen, she goes, "Yes, they are very small." That will change the industry because then you'll feel like you're actually in the video games, living there. Do you know what I mean? That would be insane.
Or what Aiden Ross talked about it. It was I saw it on a clip. He said like a way of incorporating. They're talking about it. He said, currency or Bitcoin into your games like GTA. You have a real account and you could lose it all. Look it up, Aiden Ross on GTA. Stuff like that. Maybe if you could incorporate, who knows? But there'll be breakthroughs. There'll be Minecrafts. There'll be, Fortnites. There's always just that's the way the industry goes, and then they just do it for 30 times over. You know what I mean? In different shades of colors, but that type of game. Battle Royale is always going to be big. I think that's a good concept, but I mean, like I remember a game called Populous. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
Yeah.
like
Oh,
I
I
could
do.
see something
Super Nintendo.
crazy, like you build a world and then your world, goes to war with the other side of the world, and you could watch it in real time and stuff like that. It's like, I could see something like that really changing, or a game. I always thought that was cool. That game, Populous, I remember when you would declare Armageddon. That was would you go to war and you would go to the other whoever was building the other side. I love that. So there's so much potential in video games. Also connecting themselves to media like movies. It's still a possibility.
Imagine a cool
Quantum
wrestling
Break
game.
tried that.
Imagine a cool wrestling game where you create your own character and you could actually run a real promo, like using facial recognition and cameras. You could put yourself in the game, kind of like Connect was trying to some degree.
Yes.
Remember the original Connect when you could scan yourself and put yourself into some of those games and was like,
Yes.
yeah, we're on to
Rainbow
something here.
Six.
And then they kind
I
of
did
dropped
that.
it. All of a sudden, it was like technology that was really moving forward. It's like, what the fuck happened? Like, there was like, remember even the sports games put your actual like likeness in the game instead of creating yourself and all this stuff. Like they were onto something, and then it was like it just didn't take, and it kind of went away. But like, what if you brought this back with the advancements in technology? I mean, most of our cameras now are severely advanced, even our cell phones, right? Like for image scanning and voice recognition, and then with AI, and put yourself in a wrestling game and be able to actually speak to a character and be like, cut your own promos, like actually do a live, like do a rock thing.
That sound like crazy.
It sounds
I wouldn't
crazy.
come
Right?
out if I could do that, and I like that idea. I wouldn't leave my house for a week. I'd be fucking. I'd be talking to all the characters.
Oh my lord!
Could you imagine?
I mean, that's a breakthrough that we all like. That Minecraft kind of that seems like, but Minecraft is an example. Like people felt connected with the world and they felt a part of the game. That's like the top of the. If you get to that point where you like see yourself in the game, like or feel like you're in the game,
yes,
those are the things that just just you know,
It's immersion. It's VR without the
yes,
VR part, right?
yeah.
I feel like it's
So
gonna take us a while though
And even
before we like
VR, I
kind of hit
said
that
for
point.
VR to
yes, that's the
VR to be massive
problem.
option. For
Great
VR to be massive,
point.
and I think, and follow me on this. I think the movie industry will go this way if movie theaters keep plummeting. What's going to happen is I think they're going to have to adopt VR. But listen to me out. They're going to need VR, but they're going to need it. They're going to need the VR glasses to be as light and inobtrusive as remember the first
Yes.
3D glasses that were really light. It was like wearing a pair of glasses on your face. If it becomes as easy as sunglasses and they can get around the point that don't make you sick, I think that's the future of movies where you're actually in the movie instead of just watching it. You can actually sit in a car next to Vin Diesel when he makes the Fast and Furious 105. You know.
Yeah, it could be.
This
Yeah,
is the kind of stuff. Can
that's
you imagine?
Yeah.
Can you imagine being in Tom Cruise Mission Impossible and when you're actually hanging off the wing with Tom fucking Cruise
Wow.
very
instead
cool.
of just
Yeah.
watching it? That's the shit the movie industry will need to do. It doesn't mean that every movie has to do it, but instead of the old 3D craze, which was fucking shitty, like really at the end of the day, 3D was a pretty gimmicky thing. But if you did VR and brought people into the films and you had a special version, it would ignite a new fucking level of
a
people
generational shift. Everyone, like, like it's good points. I mean, really cool ideas and stuff like that. But yes, I do think that that's all
on the
part
bird.
of this. But you know, like you know, they were saying, I forget, I don't know who the panel member was who said this, but they said that what the fuck did he say? That we're far away from it, and that's very true. Like, not in our lifetime, we're gonna see this shit.
Right.
Maybe
I feel
like
we're
70 years, it should be really advanced.
Mhm.
Where these type of situations are like commonality, like. But you know, I mean, it's gonna take time, a lot of time.
Well, I'm sure 40 years ago, nobody thought a microwave would exist and something would cook your food in fucking 10 seconds.
Yeah,
You know?
it's true.
So technology creeps
It's
up on us all the time.
breakthroughs.
We
It's
don't even
technical.
realize it,
100%. It's
you know?
breakthroughs and figuring out how to do it. And sometimes people figure it out. So
Yeah, it's coming. It's not an if, it's a when.
Yeah.
That's usually always a
Yeah.
common denominator, and it's about
And
getting technology at a price point that's affordable for everybody. Like, it's great to have technology, but when it's not affordable for the average person, it's always a barrier, right?
yeah, 100%.
That's the thing, and that's the difference
New.
between adoption and mass adoption.
To build off what you're
True.
saying with that, I feel like the gaming industry, like, to agree with Tim Dog, it is good as a whole. Like, the industry is fine, but it's negatively changing the landscape. Usually, when the landscape usually changes in a positive way. So it's like, what are we really doing here? We're really just setting a negative precedence that will just follow the end of time. So now consoles are just going to be higher, and then games are going to cost more, and they're going to still come out broken. So it's like, usually it's like, hey, we're going to do this. Like, I think like the AI is probably going to be the one that helps us, but
Yes,
like, I think we just have to take the hit. Like, the landscape has to change
Yeah.
Very good. Very good
negatively
point.
to get back to where we want, where we want. But unfortunately, where we want is going to be affected by the way it is changing with the high prices, because we'll never come back down. So yes, gaming, it will flourish in many years to come with probably different technologies, but at the same time, it's just going to keep going up in price. So is it okay for some? But where's the other person's line where they're like, no, this is too much. The game's now $100. All the games are $100. Now they're 120. The consoles are up.
you guys think
You
in
know?
20 years we even have a console at all?
There's always going to be something.
I think cloud will be really advanced by then.
I feel like you might have a little box, you know what I mean? Like, you know, those little what is it, Mac Pro? Like, you might have something like a little square.
Yeah, I feel like
ease of
something
use
like that.
always sells. Ease of
Yes, it
use
does.
always sells.
But yeah,
People just want to click a button.
But yeah, I feel like there's always going to be some kind of, box around like a console and stuff. But to kind of riff off, and it's, it's interesting, we're talking about technology and stuff. I'm almost thinking, because right now, everybody right now is chasing all of that stuff, right? AI, and we're still chasing fidelity and everything too. I'm wondering, and I pose this to anybody here, too. I'm wondering if we're almost going to be at we're going to hit a plateau where it's going to take someone like Nintendo did back in 06 with the Wii. Instead of chasing fidelity, instead of chasing graphics and making things prettier and power, that they're going to develop something that's a gimmick, but it catches people's attention again.
You would hope that happens.
The next level of cardboard Labo.
But that's scary. What you talk about is that what I don't want to see, and my fear is that we've hit the ceiling, and there's really not much more we can do, or at least for until the technology catches up.
Yeah.
So it is in a little bit of a bad spot, but for next year, GTA, I that's the one game I'm really looking forward to. I think that they can make that like amazing.
Do you think it'll be 30 though?
The trailer looks fucking amazing.
Do you think it'll be 30 FPS, Tim?
Yeah, probably.
Because in reference to what you're saying for like what the next step is, like I think we've reached our step with fidelity. I think 4K is okay, and anything under that, whether you want to dial it into your preference. But I think the next step is we need the FPS. The FPS has to be consistent on all levels, and I have a feeling Unreal Engine 5 is great, but it also contributes to half of that.
Yeah, that's true. It makes people think about it. Too, not to interrupt, but if they sell it at 30 frames per second, then they sell it at 60 frames per second, guess what? Everyone's going to buy the 60 frames per second a second time, and that's what happens with GTA. You just keep fucking buying it, and then they just like max it out.
It's not 60, right?
I think it's really gonna. My bar is very high for the game. Like I think it's gonna really.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be 30.
It's had like 4 times the team. Like the team's working on it.
Yeah.
Like 4 times bigger than what a big development studio.
Well, it's safe to say. I mean, looking at that trailer, it set the new benchmark in graphics. I mean, did you even see the beer like going back and slushing back and forth in the bottles, for fuck's sake? Like that is what you call another level of detail.
Crazy.
The way they talked was the way that caught me. Like I just focused in on it. I was very interested, like in the character and just overall the animations. Like I would say, Naughty Dog was the I've noticed that with Naughty Dog games, especially Last of Us 2. Like the animations are just like there's something special about it. But this unseated that. So to me, they're on the right track.
I saw somebody, I think it posted on X today. It was something about, GTA apparently is supposed to have gay pride parades in the game. And they're like, every little kid now is getting their tank.
I was going to say, every time it's on the tank.
That's funny. That's not going to last. Everyone's going to go after
it. Man, dude. They're going to put barricades, Jersey barriers.
Oh, fuck.
Fucking planes driving over.
That game is going to cause so much
suicide fucking shit.
Where are we dropping, boys?
Parachuting out of a plane to fucking blow up the fucking fair. The whole thing.
Boom.
That'd be like the first thing everyone does. I mean, let's be honest.
I thought we all went to the strip clubs the first thing.
That's you're right.
Yeah, well, that's after.
I hope they go real far with that. I love that shit. Like I like GTA always took it far, so I think they have a reputation. Like,
come on, remember
when
the
everyone was picking the chicks up.
on.
How many girls picked up a chick on GTA, a hooker, in the thing?
Yeah.
I've
actually watched the money actually falling out of her bra and stuff this time.
Well, there's a scene where you could get a blowjob in GTA 4, right?
Nice.
It's true. You can. She says, "Do you want it? You want?" So like GTA's always been known for that. So I do think that they know that in their history too. So I do think that the themes might be a little bit testy, and I think that the themes have to get testy too.
Yeah. They got a bad guy in the game. I think.
I get it. Kids play video games, but also there's more adults now that play video games, and the younger generation grew up with it. I have no problem. Whatever gets done on a movie can be done in a video game. Whatever that is. I think that line has to come to a head too.
Tim, I heard they got a bad guy in the game, and he's a corporate bad guy. His name is Satya Nadella.
Holy
He's spreading the
shit!
gaming company thing.
Come on, guys. Hot coffee bowl.
He's up in the
Number-
he's up in the 10th, 12th story building in
Yeah.
fucking wherever the fuck you are, Liberty City.
Yeah, in
Come on. You
Yeah,
gotta
guess
find-
where
you
you're
gotta
driving
find-
to.
Aluminium guy,
gotta-
Guess where
you
you're
gotta
driving
find-
to? Going
gotta
up the
find-
fucking stairs.
Yeah.
You
he's
gotta
got a
find the
whole
hot
bunch
coffee mode version 2, guys.
You know, that's honestly that's the great when video game touches on it. Like it's like funny in real life, but it's like bad. It's kind of like dark humor in real life, like with what we were talking about. But like it's in a video game, so it's acceptable. You know what I mean? Or like it's funny.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that. Like everyone loves that when you're in a video game, and you just do something absurd. You know what I mean? And that's I think what GTA is. Like you know, you grab a cop, steal a cop car, do whatever you want. But it's I don't know. I'm really thinking the game's gonna be. I'm psyched about it. I think it's gonna be good. So and I think it's gonna sell like fucking. I think there's gonna be a lot of talk about the pricing, but the pricing is gonna be what it is. It's gonna be more than 100, I think. So you know, with the whole package, they might sell it differently, package online and off and for deluxe $10 off. But you know. They know what they've put in here, and they know what type of game it is. I think, and that's the situation you're dealing with when you have a group of people in front of you saying, we'll talk about return on investment," and that's what they're going to do. They're going to gouge us because they know we're going to pay for it. It's just too hot.
Yeah,
That's the end of it.
it's right with little pay.
That's all right.
And it's an
Cyber.
exception. It's the only exception in the whole entire industry. And when you have an exception, you can do whatever the fuck you want. So, you know, don't be surprised if there's a lot. If we're on a podcast and whatever, when the pricing structure comes out, that we're having it. Now, if it's $70, that's pretty. That might go crazy too because nobody's expected. Everyone's expected it to be 80. Then there's a lot of people that expect it to be 100.
Yeah.
I was one of those people until I heard somebody else say, "No, this is how much it's going to be."
The downside that would this could be a positive or negative. Sometimes it's a positive because like if you look at like let's say indie developers for example, with the cost of AAA gaming skyrocketing, if they can keep their games at a very attractive price and come in, like it might turn more people to indie games and smaller titles because they're not going to go out and spend all this money on those big AAA kind of games. Or like I said, it could be the opposite way around too, where it's it kind of kills the indies to some degree. Like they can't compete, they don't have enough money to compete, or you know what I mean. Like they can't overprice themselves because they don't have the marketing or the budget. So it could kind of be a little bit of calling A and calling B on that one. So
yeah, great show, guys. Man, we killed it. We killed Xbox, but too.
So we'll get to our last
Brought
topic.
back.
All right, let's do the last topic.
I
and
don't
then-
care about GTA.
we'll
I'm just waiting
let's
for
make
my
it real
Battlefield
quick.
to come out that same month. That's all I care about. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Yep,
I hate to go
that's
back to Xbox again, but again, because of the narrative right now with Xbox basically putting all of their own games on other platforms, like Gears is coming out, which basically leaves the ship open for everything. And I think when Halo, and I think it's not a matter of when, it's a matter of if, right? Or a matter of when over if, whatever.
It's not a matter of if. It's
Yeah,
a
no,
matter
that's
of
that's
Yeah.
saying it's
Yeah.
gonna
Right.
happen.
But when
basically.
Halo comes, and I think it will in some form, it will come out on PlayStation. And then I think it's a matter of time before Xbox puts something on the Switch, whether it's like Master Chief Collection or something with crossplay and whatever to keep the franchise rolling. Which is not a terrible idea, I suppose, in hindsight. But the thing is, there are third parties now thinking, why do I even put a game on an Xbox platform? Why do I spend a development time? Why do I have to hire a team to optimize and stuff to put games on there? We saw a couple developers talk about it, and it might sound like a small thing right now, but if the trickle down effect starts going, then eventually, even if Microsoft moves forward with new hardware, are they going to start seeing? We're already seeing a lot of games that don't come out on Xbox at all. They don't make a copy for it, period. And if the copies do come, it's always like well down the road. It's like fucking year later, and all of a sudden they show up in the store. It's like most people don't care then. So what do you think, guys, is going to happen here? Will more people start skipping Xbox knowing that Xbox themselves aren't 100% committed to their own fucking console?
I mean, Capcom already did it with Marvel versus Capcom. They had to pick up the phone and call them and get them to redo
Right?
framework or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So
They don't even know how to fucking send emails. The answer is easy. The answer is easy. Yes, there's going to be more and more games, and then there's going to be the exception where we're all like, "What the fuck," you know. And the problem is like, you look at like choose PlayStation or Xbox. That's what you see ahead of you. Missing games, every game on PlayStation. It's gonna start to really be something. I don't know if it's gonna blow up, but it's gonna be just negativity because this game's gonna come out, and then they don't send an email for this game, and then that's a smaller game, but it looks bad, and then another game doesn't come out because of performance issues, you know, and it just goes on and on and on. Then we're fucking arguing about Wukong. I mean, listen, Wukong being not on the platform just shows you what Xbox is all about, you know, right? That is a prime example. You know, they should have been all over the Chinese development market. You know, that game, other than GTA, I think could have potentially be what is it called? Phantom Blade. You know what game? It was made by. They showed it. It's not out yet.
No, I know what
But
you're
it's,
talking about. Yeah, Phantom Blade.
whatever, that game just looks, I don't know, something about it. I mean, Wukong, I mean, I can't beat the tiger, so, but that game is so good. And you know what, for that game not to be on Xbox is, it's just a state of it, and that's just going to keep happening, but it's going to get on a worse and worse effect. I don't think Xbox is actively saying, you know, they're saying, oh, everything's an Xbox. So in your room when you're deciding, when you're making a game, you know, as Newf pointed out, you know, those questions come up, and then why wouldn't you just say, "Fuck it, let's just make it on PC, and we'll fucking release 3 weeks earlier,
Well,
away from this game, and we could, you know, hopefully, you know, whatever." I mean, that's
Do
the
you think that's part of the
reality.
bigger deal? Do you think that's part of the bigger picture, that with the direction they're going and the next possible console being like half PC, half Xbox, do you think that they just want you to just make a Windows edition of the game and not an
Yeah,
Xbox? That way it's a
that's what they
one-stop shop.
say. That's what they say, but the reality is that Steam owns that thing, and
Yeah.
everyone hates Windows. I mean, you have the game for free, and these fucking guys won't play it. So, I mean, it's just they're in bad position. That's why.
Yeah.
Oh, like people like Tim, why are you so negative? Used to be. It's like I see the perspectives now. I see what's all stacked up against them. I see them losing games. I see them moving away from things more and more. It's just constant negativity, constant bad
Hope.
news. It's just like, when is the whole thing gonna break? It feels like, and that's the console. I just feel it's going in that direction. And this is, you know, they're not proactive. They keep, there was a fucking, they didn't send an email, that whatever. Remember that story?
yep.
Listen, that's just, you
You
know,
guys
that's
think this is
amateur. That's
bad.
amateurish. Like, what are you doing?
Y'all think this is bad. Wait till they announce the date for Fable and they say it'll be on PS5 too. Wait till you see the backlash.
There's going to be
on
many
that.
of those
Wait to see
cases, but
perfect
you're
time
right.
date.
Well, those games make far more sense than even Gears of War and stuff, you know, because they obviously need a bigger audience to get return on investment. So, yeah, to me, those games. But your flagship titles, at least, like I said, the identity of Xbox has always
Right.
been Halo, Gears, and Forza.
Your legacy
And
titles,
Phil said himself, if we lose our way with Halo, we lose our way with Xbox. And guess what happened? Halo Infinite, I wouldn't say necessarily failed, but it was certainly a far cry from the game that we had hoped and expected. And look where we are now. Right? You even got rid of Bonnie Roth, for fuck's sake. Like, you know, that's like they lost half the people. They brought people back only to leave them a few months later. Like that, it was a mess. That whole thing was a mess.
Yeah, because I haven't seen Sarah Bond in a long time, dude.
I was going to ask you, Tim, what did you think too? Like, remember the whole what was that game? That fucking dragon game that got canceled. What was it? Scalebound.
Yep.
Were you kind of shocked to see the
yeah.
fucking Xbox had Platinum Games team up with Team Ninja and make a fucking Ninja Gaiden game for Xbox this fall?
That was pretty crazy.
Because I
All
was
those
like, man, like,
flights
what? Like,
over
you
to
guys
the
basically
land.
had it out with Platinum Games, and then you hired them to build a Ninja Gaiden game. You're
Yeah.
publishing it, right?
Pretty wild.
I think it's
pretty
fucking
wild.
cool. That's a great gift for Xbox. It's going to be on PlayStation anyway, but I mean, still, it's a huge game. Get the Game Pass. Oh, Tim's gone. I don't know what happened to him, but he's out.
Oh,
He did say he had to leave, but he didn't send me a message. To say
I'll tell you what.
there's
There's a cold gun to the back of his head. He said, "If you say another word."
Yep.
Phil is
like
rolling up in the back.
The next
now.
Taken movie, Taken, Tim Dog.
Oh man.
I don't know who you are, but we're gonna find you.
Yes, Cyber. We're all gamers, man. We're all gamers, and none of us here are going to stop playing games tomorrow. And most of us are not going to stop playing games on their Xbox. Heck, I still play my Xbox
right over there.
PlayStation.
And you know, we did speak with our wallets because last year when they said only 4 games, a lot of us stopped buying games on the platform. Just to let you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This
is not like our putting our feet in the sand or anything like that. Or
where
telling
are
anybody how to
playing-
spend their money, but it's just us being transparent with everybody and not hiding behind a wall. And you know what I mean? We're not holding up a facade. I like my Xbox. I love my Xbox. I'm going to use it. And I'm always going to support Xbox. But here's how I'm going to say it. I'm going to support them in a different way, which means I'm not giving up. I'm not selling it. You can sell it. That's fine. I don't care what you do. But at the end of the day, I'm going to do what's best for me. And I'm going to still support them. But I'm going to support them in different ways. And that's fine with me. And I hope that's fine with y'all.
I'm going to use Phil Spencer's words, okay? On a case-by-case basis.
I will use my Xbox on a case-by-case basis.
There you go.
No, I mean, I can see where, and again, this is all, healthy discussions. And, anybody in the chat feeling like we're being negative, it's, again, just like if you say it every show. We call out what we don't like. We call out what we do like. And, I mean, Xbox is a hot button topic right now. So that's what we're talking about, right? It's if it was anybody else in the news stepping on as many rakes, I'm sure we'd be talking about that. But it's all, it's all for the love of it. And I was being a butt in the chat here for a minute, saying my Xbox collection is a smoke show. I don't like Xbox at all. But it's like, I mean, I guess, and I've said this a couple of times on the show where it's like, I take it, I did probably take it a bit more personally than I should, just simply because I've dumped so much money into the brand because I have enjoyed it over the years. And you know what? And Cyber Gunther, you're right. You have your opinions, we have ours. We can agree to disagree, and then we can hug it out and dance off into the sunset, whatever you want to do. Even
if we disagree, we still love you. You know what I mean? We thank you for coming out. We love that you're listening to us, but we don't always have to agree.
If you're in the chat here now, you disagree with us, it's fine.
Yeah.
You disagree with us, fine. No, we're not hating on but this is the thing. Like, I'm not going to unfollow. I'm not going to block
we own
you.
all the consoles. I don't know why people would think we wouldn't. But we
I
do.
only block people. I only block people, and I make this very clear. When I block someone, it's because you're being a disrespectful prick. Okay, if you want to come at me with a difference of opinion, say I don't agree with you, Newf, and you give me reasons why. But when you're going to go, Newf, you're a fraud and a fucking fake, and you're just a fake ass guy. Like when you're going to go down that route, to me, that's just plain disrespect. Okay, and that's the kind of disrespect that if you were standing in front of me, I'm going to put you on your fucking ass. Okay, that's the kind of bullshit I'm telling you about. You wouldn't have the guts to say some of the shit you say on your little Twitter feeds and shit. But I can promise you're going on your ass if you were to say that to my fucking face, okay? And that goes for a lot of guys on eBay. You got a lot of keyboard fucking warriors out there, but you're not so fucking tough if you got a fucking. I'm not freaking on you, Cyber. Cyber? You should know better, dude. Me and you have been friends for fucking almost 10 years. We played shit tons of game together, bro. I'm not talking about you, bro. Okay, I get you you disagree with me. I get that my stance on Xbox has changed, and a lot of us here have changed. Look, the industry changes. We're changing. We're trying to adapt to it. Some of you guys adapted a little bit quicker. We fucking get it. You've accepted that this is the thing. You've moved on, and we get it. And you tell us all the time, and we're just voicing our concerns. We're just saying we think that Microsoft had the means to play ball a little differently, but they chose not to. And then this is what drove guys like Tim Dog. Yes, there was some immaturity, console warring shit we get, but you know what? That was kind of fun. So everybody has to admit that sometimes you have everybody that's in this chat, every podcast I've ever watched, everybody's had fun with console warring at one time or another. It's like a sports team. We all have our favorites, whether it's PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. We've all had our little digs at each other, and sometimes it was funny. It's all meant in good fun. Nobody really gives two shits at the end of the day. But I'm just saying, guys, like, we got our opinions, but the thing is as well, and I'm going to say this again, people fucking hear what they want to hear. And this is what drives me with my podcasts. I've never been a pro fucking Xbox, pro Sony, pro anything on my I've always tried to be as fair as possible. Yes, sometimes it feels like you're calling out shit for one over the other. But I called out everything. And if you've been listening on my podcast, if you say you've been listening, if you've been paying attention, you would know that I've had my fair share of fucking putting Sony in the dirt. And I still will, because they're scumbags too. Trust me, I'm saying it right now. They put up prices. They started doing it first. Up here in Canada, they started doing it first. I was bitching about them years ago when they were the first ones to put the PS4 up like $50 more in Canada when Xbox didn't budge on the price at all. So I've had my moments where I call them out. Right now, Sony, get off your fucking ass. Get some games out. Every single one of us on this panel can tell you your fucking lineup has been dry as fucking fuck.
Oh, fuck
you guys went from producing a shit ton of shit, and all of a sudden the only games you guys got coming out are fucking remasters. They're not even 20-year-old games, dude. Like, stop giving us the fucking same game. We don't need the Last of Us fucking collection for the fourth fucking time. All right, if you want to make something different, then fucking cancel the show and hire some actors that actually look and sound like the fucking characters. I don't need Potato Head, fucking Ellie, right?
Oh my goodness! Buzz Lightyear to the rescue!
Anyway,
I'm to infinity.
I'm off the tangent here, but no, I never said Cyber Gunter was wrong.
No, he's good, man. Be straight, brother.
And when it comes to the media, we certainly know the media has played into it. They've been the worst. The media has really like stuck at Xbox every chance. We've seen more so. I'm not saying they don't take the dig at Sony, but it's far like you watch the articles for Xbox versus the negative articles Sony, and it's a lopsided comparison. Just they love to shit on Xbox, and I think it's because their generation grew up with PlayStation more than Xbox, and they bring a lot of that personal bias over to their media. And again, a lot of times they're paid by certain companies, so they're paid to put that better view forward, right? Because they're getting ad revenue. We all know how that works. You can't say shit when you're getting ad money because your boss is going to say, if you say something bad or you don't give this game a really fucking good review or you don't, it's not going to be pretty. We're gonna lose our funding from these people. This happened to the magazine industry. It happens at the radio industry.
Yeah.
I worked in radio. If I had a pizza ad from a pizza place I fucking hated, do you think I was allowed to say that on air? I'd be like, yeah, that pizza's fucking delicious, man. You're like, goddamn shit makes me vomit. I'd lose my fucking job. I'd have the manager down my road. You guys just shit on the guys who just paid us fucking $10,000 for the next 3 months to talk about the pizza. You're saying a fucking shit, right?
You sound like Spencer right now.
I don't take the personal. Like I said, I only block and shit online when you're being disrespectful, and I'm very, very hardly ever disrespectful. I'm not the one that jumps in on people's channels and jumps in on people's Twitter timelines to fucking say shit. Go look at my feeds and tell me, am I the one who's jumping on their feeds to say shit? But everybody jumps on my feeds all the time, right? I'm lucky. I do have a great chat. I say that. I've got one of the best chats, some of the best followers of any podcast. I wholeheartedly believe it. Because this chat's always been every podcast I've ever run. I rarely have a troll. Now that's probably because my channel is too fucking small and nobody cares. But I also have great people that actually care about what we say, stay for the entire show, and are just fucking amazing people. So shout out to everybody that's in this chat. You guys know who you are. You're all fucking amazing. Everybody on this panel says it. We say this each and every week. Our channels, our podcast chat is fucking awesome.
We love them.
Anyway, that's my rant for tonight. But yeah, so there we go.
Yeah, it was dope.
Most podcasts went. No, there's a lot of. We said this at the top of the show, where we said how there's a lot of these PlayStation podcasts. They're supposed to be talking about PlayStation. They spend the whole fucking show just shitting on Xbox. Yeah. We've seen that for years, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of great podcasts out there. Axel runs some of the best ones. Axel got 2 great podcasts that not many people tune into, unfortunately. Dreadpool's in the chat. Dreadpool's a great guy, has great content. And I'll be honest with you, I don't get to check out Dreadpool stuff as near as often as I should. But you look at Axel, that show, Friday Nights with Doggy, great show. And it's not like a console war-ish kind of fucking show. It's just a fun gaming show. It's great.
That's a great
Good Morning
show,
Xbox.
dude.
Even when he took it over from me, Good Morning Xbox is a great little show. Cool Cat Terry's a great girl. We've had a lot of great people on there. People like Scrubners and Cerebral Paul and you know, like I'm very fortunate. You know, we've gained a lot of friends here too, and like I said, unfortunate. It's one of the downsides we lost people too because people took this shit too seriously, and they can't separate the fact from fiction. But nobody's been fake. That's one thing about me. You can say what you like about other YouTubers, the guys who put on personas and switch their point of view just to get clicks. That's not something I've ever done. I've never done it for clicks. Yeah, I've done stupid shit like selling my Xboxes and doing Newfonomics time in and time out. You know, that stuff's been pretty stupid. I admit that. That's why I have another Xbox here because I missed it so fucking much, right? But anyway, I'm done talking. My blood pressure's through the roof here, guys. Anybody else have any further things to say?
I just want to say something. I hate Grand Theft Auto.
Well, what if Grand Theft Auto's got a really good bowling alley in it?
Yeah, well, then what?
Then I think he'll change his tune.
No, I got the real shit. I'm good.
You see his character in the bowling alley every week. So fuck
I
yeah.
will tell. I know you walk in, you just see Sir X-Man. You're like, you lied.
This
Bowling
bowling alley was shit, man.
No, but you guys are all amazing. Like I said, a lot of guys in the chat I played games
told
with.
you.
Awesome.
Oh, I muted myself again. Sorry.
Cyber Gunter,
told you.
Iceman, LMH, awesome guys. I can play games. Those guys were a big part of community game night.
Ice.
And, you know.
Yes, sir.
But like I told you, I'm just waiting for Battlefield, dude. And it comes around the same time, GTA. Guess what? Which one I'm choosing? Thank you.
Battlefield.
Yep, Battlefield.
What if they had a bowling mode in Battlefield?
I would wish it is Battlefield. I like blowing up tanks and shit.
If there's one thing I wish I could make,
He's gonna blow up a tank with a bowling ball.
if there's one thing I honestly wish I could make big every week and make it a really grand spectacle and make it a
Your
real
penis?
community.
So he's like, come on, little guy, just keep working.
The timing was just perfect there. I got to give you that one.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it.
But
Oh,
I've
me and
always
Newf-
loved the community
Me and
games,
Newf
man.
know when to click with each other and when not to. We just know. We just know.
Oh, your penis. Yeah, absolutely.
You leave yourself open, dude. You get what you deserve.
And you kicked me right in the twat.
Yep.
Right in.
Gotcha. Got him.
She was gone. Anyway, guys, what a great fucking show. Anybody have any other topics or things they want to bring up before we close the show? Big shout out to Tim Dog. Like I said, I'm not sure why he just kind of up and left, unless he had technical. He didn't say he was going to stay the whole show, but hopefully he's okay. And it was just a technical issue because he just he didn't even say that, guys. I'm out. At least I didn't hear him. Did anybody hear him
It just
say
dropped out. No,
I got something. I got
They
something.
got him.
Are you guys ready for Doom Friday?
I am, but I'm gonna end up having to wait because my son's graduating, and I was already told that my birthday's coming up real quick, and so I know that's coming. So I'm gonna be behind the 8 ball at least a week, which hurts my soul. But I'm also, and so it's gonna be real difficult trying to avoid the damn spoilers. But yeah,
it's getting high scores, dude.
Oh yeah. You got some idiots out there that are just fucking bitching about it because they were expecting another Doom Eternal. And it's like, each one of these new Dooms has been different from each other. 2016 was different from Eternal, and everything I've seen about it, I'm super excited for. I just now have to wait a week.
Proto, it's dope. I'm playing it on Game Pass. I did it on PC. So I'm playing it. You want me to tell you
got it early.
I'm just gonna save you the money and spoil it for you. He just goes
Don't
the
you
people route
fucking
and
dare.
he doesn't want to kill anything anymore. So now he's not. Yeah, he just gives hugs. He just hugs everybody.
I'm gonna take my ass to Boston and I'm power bombing you through a fucking table.
You know what?
Yeah, no more killing demons. He just walks up, he hugs them, he tells them
I'll
you're
get
doing
your
great.
revenge for you when we go bowling on Sunday again, like we supposed to do. I'm gonna throw a bowling ball right in his face.
Yo, don't worry, Proto. I'm gonna take care of X-Man like I did last Sunday in Unreal Tournament 3. Wow,
that was fire though, dude.
I was mad as hell because my Xbox went into like 4 different fucking updates. I couldn't even jump on. I'm like, well, I guess I'm playing subs.
That's okay. My Xbox deleted Battlefield on me. I'm like, what the fuck?
That shows you how much you play your Xbox. You don't keep it up.
It's been 2 weeks, X-Man. 2 weeks.
X-Men, where are
How do you
Sony's
need
mod
an update?
pass?
How do you need an update for it not being, not
Hey,
using
that's
it in 2 weeks?
Microsoft. I don't know. I turned that thing on after a week and it says we need to update. Okay, here we go again.
Okay, do you have auto update on? Dude?
Yeah, and I keep it on sleep. I don't put it on power off. I put it on sleep mode. This thing just hates me. I think it's because I talk shit about Xbox. It's like Phil can hear me through my Xbox. And he's like, we're going to make this motherfucker update for the next 8 hours.
Yeah, because he probably didn't have a mic yet. So that's probably why they did.
No, I got the mic. Just wait.
Hey, we've been talking about it for a month and a week.
We have, I know, but now I'm ready.
Haven't heard
No,
you.
it's just not my Xbox is scared to dance.
We're gonna all have to start a GoFundMe and chip in and send you down one.
And Proto has Unreal Tournament.
I do. Because the thing was I had installed it, and then the Xbox like it needs an update to play Unreal Tournament 3. I'm like, okay, and then it's like, oh, it looks like we need an update, and I'm like, what are you updating at this point? I literally was on 2 weeks ago.
That means you probably bought it when it came out, right?
Come get that.
But you never launched it.
Oh yeah, probably.
I had it on disc, but I traded it years ago, but I just rebought it again. So I just never got to play with you the other night. I wanted to, but I had some other stuff on the go. So
you got the Unreal too, baby? You got it too?
Yeah,
you did say you
to get
found your disc. Yeah.
Bring it on, baby.
Let's
go. I rebought the game. Yeah, it was $10 up here.
Yeah, it was $10.
Yeah, dude,
we know Perry got it. He got everything.
Yeah, I was gonna play, but I was building a shitty AMD computer that wouldn't post.
You still fucking with that damn computer?
I returned all that shit. Got all my money back.
There you go.
9950X 3D my ass.
You know what you need to do? Just find one, buy one outright all together.
Yeah, I build them. I build computers, but AMD I've never built before, and the fucking thing wouldn't turn on. So I said, "Fuck this shit." So I'm going back to Intel
and NVIDIA. That's why.
I've always been in NVIDIA. I'm good, man.
Mm-hmm. I love it. RTX can't go wrong with RTX, man.
No way.
Mm-hmm. And you can do other shit with RTX.
Period time. Oh, yeah. We got the usual suspects back this week. They took a little hiatus last week because of we need to do a shortened show a little bit, but they're back. We got Arnold, Safe and Cletus in the building tonight. So you got any questions for either one of those three Latios? Now is the time. And RWK, he says he does have a question. Go ahead, RWK. What is it, brother? Drop it in the chat. Anyone on the panel got a question while we're waiting?
Not really. I'm ready to get back to
Arnold.
I'll wait.
Arnold, what do you think of Tim Dog as a guest?
Honest to God, the Tim Dog is a very good guest. I mean, the guy has been around the video game industry almost as long as I've been around the maids. So that's fantastic. I mean, he's an awesome guy, you know. The only thing about Tim Dog sometimes, is, the voice can get a little bit grating. But, other than that, he's just an incredible guy. He knows Xbox. He's friends with everybody. And it's very sad to see them, his passion and feel like he's been getting dropped on his head and slapped upside the face by a brand he's put so many years and love and attention into, and he just turns around. It's like your kid telling you they fucking hate you after spending all your money on them, and then they go, "No, I'm going to turn queer and they're going to marry a dog," and some kind of shit like that. I mean, that's where we're at here.
That's the new GTA.
You can marry a dog in GTA. Damn.
You can do whatever you want.
So RWK has one for Arnold. He said, Arnold, the main guy in GTA, is he using steroids like you did?
Of course. They're all in the steroids. I mean, so many of them in there are on the steroids. That's how you get through life. You got to be strong. You can't be a pussy. We don't need any more Phil Spencers in here. You got to be strong. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You just can't go around sucking fire hose. You know what I mean? You got to get out there and do it. You will make money if you give people what they want. You don't have to bend over and take it in the asshole.
That's how the women got big old booties. They taking steroids in GTA.
We go on Cletus. Would you survive if you were sent to hell wearing the Doom guy armor?
Oh my God, I'd die. He would look like a little midget.
First of all, I think my whole body could probably fit inside one of his arm gauntlets. You know what I mean? I don't even think I could carry a big fucking gun like that. I got a hard enough time carrying my 3-inch penis. out to the burn. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really think I do very well. Plus, some of them fucking things, actually, you know them fat motherfuckers that come at you, that looks too much like half of my relatives. So that scares the shit fucking out of me. And then you got them fucking horny ass balls just floating through the air, spitting at you and shit. Like, I fucking don't think I could do very well playing shit like fucking Doom, man. It's not my fucking jam, you know. I'd be better off in Minecraft or something like that, because at least in Minecraft, I actually got more teeth than most of the characters, which is always a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
You play Minecraft, you'll probably get blocked, Cletus.
God. The last thing the demon would hear in hell would be "ha-ho, fiddly-diddly," and it'd be an uppercut.
and then you'll hear the guy from the trailer going, "All the power of hell cowering before one Cletus."
You see the laser come down from the sky. It's just this little man in armor. It's Cletus. "Ha-ho, fiddly-diddly."
Hey, we got a question here. What's this one?
He's dragging the shield. He's like,
here we go. We got one here from Cyber Gunter.
Arnold is Tim Dog a real gamer?
Of course, Tim Dog is a real gamer. He's as real as they come, but it doesn't mean, you know, that he's any different than anybody else. Yeah, you know, if you can pick up a controller, you can press the start button, and you're going to get in there and have a great time. That's all that matters. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, I get with the ladies, so sometimes I'm a gamer and I'm also a real fucker. You know what I mean? I lay down the law. I take off her bra. You know, I am the man because I grease her clam.
See, Arnold, you messed up. You should have said, "I tell the ladies to play with my joystick." There you go.
Is Cletus' favorite game Leisure Suit Larry?
It's Leisure Suit, yeah.
Leisure Suit Larry.
It's a classic.
I had that game.
Sorry, my favorite game was not Leisure Suit Larry. That game was not dirty enough for me. You know, see, my pigs get dirtier than that game. I need to see some real snatcheritis up in there. You know what I'm saying? I need some lips flapping and tits wagging. You know what I'm saying? Because I get up in the attic and I start to shaking. That's the kind of shit that I've been doing. I don't like a whole lot of games because they're not fucking naughty enough for Cletus. Most of the games is all just violence. It's all about just shooting people and watching their brains splattering out through the head. I'd rather be games to be a little bit naughty, you know, a little more sexual interference or whatever the fuck you want to call it. That's what I'm up for.
Cletus, I know your favorite game when they came out with Hugh Hefner's Penthouse.
Ooh,
on the 360. on the OG Xbox.
That's a fantastic game, Playboy. I like that one. You know, but nice to make a remake. See, that's the kind of game that needs a remaster. You know, they could up the polygon count on those titties. So they got
In
the
this
real
world, that ain't gonna happen. Oh no! Don't tell me Perry's looking for the penthouse. Ah no!
No.
Oh shit! He had it. He was playing it.
They got the memory card.
What are those condoms, Perry? Perry's got condoms.
These are the memory cards I got from Amazon that GameStop told me were exclusive to GameStop. The Switch 2 memory cards.
Oh man, look at he's got GameStop condoms, folks.
I technically have condoms because these are the screen protectors for the Switch 2.
I got that same one, baby. Thank you.
All ready to go, ain't you? You just waiting for it.
Dude, I got one express card coming my way. It's coming daddy's way. 256.
Speaking of Switch 2, you guys seen any more like re-releases or more units come into the wild? Because I've been waiting for some emails and I haven't seen anything across my way yet to say that.
Check your so Nintendo. My wife signed up for the Nintendo ordering thing, and they sent it to her junk folder, but she was able to order one directly from Nintendo. So check your spam and junk folder. Best Buy, they put up yesterday that they were going to have units at the midnight launch that people could walk in and just buy. Okay. And then everyone went nuts online, so they pulled that and they posted that, we'll have a midnight opening. So if you have a midnight release, Best Buy that's open, just walk in and see if they have extras. That's what I would say.
Man, that line gonna be around the corner.
Oh yeah. That's cool, man. I'm happy that there's actually going to be a midnight launch, you know, and that people are excited for something. That's kind of cool.
We'll be going. Me and Frank will be there at midnight.
That's awesome.
So, Newf, you can go stand out. Well, it ain't cold now. At least they ain't doing it in the winter where it's going to be like 80 below zero out there.
Right? Exactly. Yeah, it's a decent time of the year to release a console. Yeah, it's pretty good. All right, guys, we're going to get ready to close the show. Yeah, Arnold remembers Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Thanks to everybody that came out. The It Guy, Chalice Ray, Stevie Mac, Frank, RWK, Cyber Gunter, Dreadpool, Pink Piggles. Man, so many people in here. Wesson.
Hockey fan.
AAC founder,
Frank.
Mr. Click. Hockey
Dreadpool.
Yeah, man. So many great people here again tonight. We got Cougar Man in the chat. Always good to see him here. Mental 9R was here as well. Lots of people. Harold was in the chat. Good to see him here. Yeah, the list goes on, guys. You're absolutely amazing, and that will continue to be. You guys are fantastic. So thanks again for coming out. I hope you really enjoyed the show tonight. It was awesome hearing from Tim Dog, and he feels the way a lot of us do, and he's been very a lot of people are like, shitting on the guy saying that he's a flip-flop or blah. I don't think that at all. I mean, Tim Dog has been the guy he was tonight was the guy he's always been, only now it's hard for him. It's hard for all of us who've invested, thousands of dollars in games, in merch, in the Xbox ecosystem. They're kind of not like I'm glad they're still doing well and they're making money and their numbers, blah, blah. We're all happy for that. But to just kind of see them almost like concede victory, it's kind of like, yeah, we're kind of more or less done. We're going to change directions just because this is the only way we feel we can compete. When each of us knows in our heart that if Microsoft wanted to compete differently, they could still be successful. They could have still put games on platforms, but they could have kept the bulk load of them for themselves. And I think they could have their console market could have exploded. Like it's not like it's done, right?
They should have kept their legacies to themselves.
So it is what it is. End of the day, more people get to play more Xbox games that they love, and the better. I mean, I'm excited about buying Gears for PlayStation. I'm going to buy Reloaded on PlayStation. I'm going to go play other people on PlayStation. I'm going to use the DualSense. Hopefully, they make it awesome. I mean, I played it enough on Xbox, and I've got the Ultimate Edition. So if I am getting an update, why the fuck would I? So I'll just
buy it here. Yeah,
right.
Yeah, feel that.
It is going to be. I will say, it will be wild to play Gears Reloaded on a PlayStation 5. It'll be an easy fucking platinum for sure, but it's still going to be wild to me.
Oh, it's going to seem surreal.
Only thing I worry about is,
look at that. That's a nice controller.
You're going to have to get used to that, the way the D-pad is up there, because of how you got to switch it over. You know what I'm saying? When you got to, do your selection and stuff like that, or do your search for people to find out where they are in the map.
That's cool.
Yeah, I feel that.
Honestly, speaking of controllers, if there's one thing I think we can all unanimously agree on when it comes to special edition controllers, Xbox is still killing it.
That I'll say, yeah,
for sure.
That much, like Sony's don't even come close. Like theirs is okay, but like, when was the last time you felt really impressed? I bought the Astrobot one. That's the only one in the last while that I went. That one looks actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, there hasn't been a lot. Most of the times, you just look like they're slapping a sticker on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because I grew up on a PlayStation controller, so it's hard for me to get used to it again. The pads being on the bottom. It's hard. Tomb Raiders and other games like that back then were D-pad mostly. So to get used to that, SSX was D-pad. So it's like. The Need for Speed, all the other games from the PS2 I got used to. But after playing Xbox for over 20 years, it's hard to adjust again, dude. It really is. You guys kept it continuous, so you're okay with both, but you all agree you like the Xbox controller better.
Well, I definitely prefer the Xbox controller, but I'm back and forth between them so much, it's not going to be a huge shift for me.
No, same thing.
It'll be
the biggest thing is
are you showing that Starfield controller again?
Right? The thumbsticks is like the deal breaker overall, like the location of the thumbsticks on the Xbox. But I will say, like, the PlayStation 5 controller is hands down their best one ever. Like, they really knocked it out of the park with that DualSense. I think it's fantastic. I actually like to feel that one a lot.
But Sony does need to fix their D-pad. Everybody agree. You guys all agree that with the D-pad, Xbox has innovated the D-pad.
On the latest ones, like the one that Perry's holding on that D-pad on the Starfield, which is like an iteration of the Elite D-pad. That one's good.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, weirdly enough, I changed mine on my Elite. I changed it to like the normal,
No, that
normal
D-pad
cross.
is the standard.
Oh,
That
really?
D-pad is the standard now.
But I will
It's in the
say,
standard
I will
whole
say this
situation.
into relation to controllers with the Xbox Elite series and the was it DualSense Edge. I like the half moons on the back of the DualSense Edge, and I wish they had half moons for the Elites, but they do not.
Stop it, it's Perry.
If anybody has the DualSense Edge, let me know. I love the half moons on the back of them as the additional buttons. They don't offer those for the Xbox.
Oh, you don't give them the full moon? You only give them the half moon?
Yeah, just one cheek. One cheek. That's all they get. Half an ass.
I love that controller.
I can't wait to play Doom in the Dark Ages. I just don't know when.
Controller
You're gonna love it. You're gonna
The
love it.
only one that I want is the GameCube controller if I got to switch to.
Yeah, but it only works on the GameCube games that are offered on
All
the
I'm gonna
Ultimate
play is
service.
Beautiful Joe and Wind Waker.
Yeah, so you'll need the service. As long as you use them with the service, the controller is good. But after that, I don't think you can use it.
Nah, they put the C button, the camera button in there, the chat button in there in the new version. So you can press the chat to video people.
Yeah, nice. But I don't know if you can play that controller with normal games. I think it's only the GameCube game.
Hey, Perry, did you get the camera too?
No, you could plug in any USB camera. By the way, they didn't really make that clear, but you can do that.
Okay, as long as it's got voice with it.
Yeah, I don't know how the voice is gonna work. Like with the, I don't know if I think the controller has a headphone jack, but I'll double check when I get it. But yeah, the cameras that they're selling are like 480p for $50. It's like, why would I do that?
He said,
and this Switch too, I did one. It has Bluetooth also, so you can plug in a Bluetooth headset now, right?
Nice.
Sweet.
That's what I heard, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, the Switch 1 has Bluetooth. I wasn't sure about like what they're doing with the 2.
So hot.
What's up? Oh, Oilers, baby. Nice. That's fucking sick. That is dope, dude. The colors on it are fucking sick. Yeah, I see it right there. Yeah.
Nice.
I hope your team wins the championship.
Let's go, baby. Up 3-1 on Vegas. Beat them. Put them out.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Let's go.
Connor McDavid needs his fucking cup, baby. He's got to get it. He's got everything
So-
else. He just needs that big one.
Next week we're gonna be back at the regular time.
Yes, we came out early because Tim said he only had limited time and he'd prefer if we could go a half hour earlier. And I said, yeah, not a problem. I didn't think it'd be a problem. So next week, regular time.
Gotcha. Sounds good.
That means more time for me to get bowling in.
There you go. Anyway, we're going to roll the show, guys. It's been an absolute dynamite. This is 2 weeks in a row where we had an absolutely phenomenal show. It was awesome. Hope everybody in the chat enjoyed it. Again, guys, thanks for coming out to the show. For everybody else, so let people know where they can check you out. The descriptions and their links to the YouTubes and their social media is in the chat on YouTube. So go check these guys out and their channels. Please drop by and say hello to them. Give them some love. Check out Mental 9R too, his caffeine entertainment channel. Makes some really good stuff, some great reviews. Just did a video on the PS5 Pro, which he bought, I think, a refurb one. So he's got a lot of cool stuff over there. And look forward to getting Mental back on the show here real soon. And hopefully when me and Mental hang out this summer, because we're planning to, we'll do a little video for you guys so you can, we'll say hello to everybody.
Sweet.
Yeah, he lives.
I might have a female friend that might join, could be a guest on the show once. She's a gamer.
That'd
She
be
got
awesome.
PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch.
Nice. That's
good.
awesome.
I like
She wants
it.
to come on. Bring her on. The more the merrier. And plus, I think we need more female representation. Is very male dominated, and I love hearing opinions from the ladies that come on the panel. It's always good.
I'll give her a holler.
All right, man.
Excellent.
Anyway, let's let everybody get out of here. Let's start with your Wicked Hot. Let people know where they can catch you, bro.
All right, boys. And Chad, you know where to find me at the usual places. Xbox, fucking PlayStation, fucking Twitter, Steam. It's the name on the screen, baby. And every Tuesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time, you can find us here at Gaming After Dark. Till next week, boys.
Indeed. Sir X-Man, let people know where they can find you when you're not knees deep bowling.
You can find me here at the regular time. Since you people are here, you know what time it comes on. You can find me here. You can find me at 5 o'clock on the Dragon's Den with 108 Dragon. on Saturday. You can find me Sunday around 10 to 11 bowling this guy and making him wet his shorts every time I run a 4-bagger on him on the bowling lane.
Followed by me whooping him a cowboy style in Unreal Tournament because his reflex are like,
Yeah, my reflexes suck now, dude. It sucks now so bad. But I
fucking
still
guy moves
had
like
fun.
Batman.
I still
Everything
had
moves when you
fun.
lift.
And every once in a while, you can catch me on Wasted with Wise on Friday at 5 p.m. Central.
Right. All right.
That's it.
ProtoFoxy. Let people know where they can catch up with you, brother.
All the links will be in the description below. Otherwise, every Tuesday night, you know where to find me. I'm right here on Gaming After Dark with my boys.
Indeed. Last but not least, the GameComplainers. Man's always throwing down some content, so go check him out, but he'll let you know where.
Every Wednesday between 9:30 and 10 p.m., we have the GameComplainers podcast with myself, Frank, Anthony, and Fred. And we basically just break the fourth wall on gaming, make fun of a bunch of stuff. Not so much console warring, but we make fun of all that stuff. So
Absolutely.
try not to take it too seriously.
That's the way it should be. And you guys know where to find me, always in the gutter and back here each and every Tuesday night with this fine cast of characters. Again, thanks to Tim Dog tonight for an amazing show. Glad to hear his kind of take on the direction of Xbox and how he feels about the whole shenanigans and the whole scenario. But most importantly, guys, no matter where you game or how you game, the biggest thing is that you are gaming, that you're enjoying the hobby, having fun. It's your choice, your call, your money. Spend it how you like, have fun how you like. We're always happy. The more people playing games, the better. Hopefully, we'll see you guys on the next community game night. Going to try to do one up here real soon, and we'll give you plenty of advance notice so you can get the games downloaded in advance. But really want to get more people out for community game night. If you're in the chat, guys, please come play with us. We're easy to talk to. We're easy to game with. You know, we're open. We don't. Nobody takes it seriously. We all have good games. We have bad games, but we're all having fun, and that's what it's all about. And we look forward to it. I'm gonna have to toss some game ideas at the panel and see what they think.
Killer Instinct. Have a Killer Instinct night.
Killer Instinct. Yeah, we should do some fighters are a little tougher though. You kind of got to go 1-on-1 kind of deal.
None of you guys are walking out alive.
Oh, challenge accepted.
Well, not me. I suck at fighting games.
walking
I'll
out,
play
buddy.
anybody. I'll play anybody, but I suck at them. Yeah. So, we'll definitely do up a couple of games and get some people in, whether it's Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, or Killer Instinct, or something like that, and some other games. I really want to get a Gears matchup going here real soon, and I was thinking maybe Gears War Ultimate Edition, since we're kind of all rehyped for Reloaded, so maybe some old school Gears would be fun, or even some Gears 3 or Gears 5. I don't know. We'll figure it out, but anyway.
Gears.
So yeah, we'll see you guys all in CD Rust free. I'd like to do was it Modern Warfare, the remake, the first one? You know, COD4.
That doesn't have the remake. Okay.
You know, not the new one, but the one, the remake of COD4, the remastered one.
Okay, that one I don't think has online.
Yes, it does.
Oh,
Modern
remake?
Warfare
Okay.
2 does not.
Yeah,
the Modern Warfare Remastered does not have it, but the first one does. Unfortunately, they made the map packs, or was it one of the map packs? They made like extra money for some fucking reason. It's like,
yeah.
But anyway, hopefully we'll let everybody know coming up here real soon. So, and the good thing about that Call of Duty is it doesn't take like 200 gigs. I think it's maybe 50, 60 or something like that. It's not drastically big compared to games nowadays. So
really quick, Dreadpool, check out his link in the chat for his channel. Subscribe over there. And then Harold, he posts his link as well. Check him out over there as well.
Yeah, go copy and paste those into your browser. Go check them out and subscribe to the channels and give them a like and a follow and all that good stuff, guys. And again, we'll see you soon. For everybody who hangs out here with us, you guys are amazing. We'll see you again next Tuesday. But until then, like I said, game on.
Peace.
Okay, here we go.